Hi, I'm Matt Asner, and welcome to On the Spectrum. We didn't do a March show, and I apologize profusely for not doing one. But I had some family issues. My wife had some health issues in her family, and we decided to not do it because that was the right thing to do. But we're back. We're back with a vengeance in April. April is Autism Awareness Month. A lot has been going on this month. We had the walk in LA, which I'm going to talk a little bit about and show a little bit of video about. We've had an incredible campaign with Activision, with Skylanders, that I was really proud of. Hopefully you saw those blue toys in the toy stores, lighting up blue for Autism Awareness Month. We have an incredible campaign at GameStop, an awareness campaign at GameStop. We have a Fresh Brothers campaign. So if you're in Southern California and you go to a Fresh Brothers, you can donate to Autism Speaks. So that's very cool. But let's talk about the LA Walk. So the LA Walk happened on April 2nd, which is Autism Awareness Day. And about 60,000 people came to the Rose Bowl. And they came to this incredible sea of hope that, that we have every year in Los Angeles at the Rose Bowl. And I've got to give my hats off to Jennifer Jones and Sasha Spalding and Suzette Martinez and Brandon Adachi and Rebecca Haken and Kaylee and everyone else at the LA office and the incredible committee for the Los Angeles Walk, led by Charles Hassel. Incredible job. The entertainment was great, and I think probably one of the best walks yet. And I can prove that because we're going to cut to a video right now that's going to show you how great it was. And when we come back, I'm going to intro my first guest. So this is the LA Walk.
It's Nava and Matt Paskowitz-Asner, and we're here at the Autism Speaks 2016 Walk.
We are, and there's probably about, I would say, 56, 57,000 people out there. It's a sea of hope that we come to every year. We both have been here together. How many years have we been here together?
5 years, I think.
5 years together, and it's just, it grows and grows and grows, and it gets better and better and better. And I'm just really proud and honored to be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Dina Kimmel, CEO and founder of We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym for All Kids. I've been at this walk for 6 years. This year was the best. We're a community sponsor this year, and we had 12 owners, okay, which we have 54 across the states now, but 12 owners in the booth, non-stop, spreading the word about the walk. It was amazing this year. The volunteers were bringing us water and fuel so we could do what we do best, and that is spreading the word about autism awareness and having a place where all kids belong together. This was the best year, so we thank you, Autism Speaks.
Hi there, this is Georgiana Junco-Kelman. I proudly serve on the Autism Speaks Southern California Board of Directors. And this is my absolute favorite day because this is where you begin to build your community. Families that have been recently diagnosed come to this day and find their people. They find resources, they find service providers, they find an organization that supports them and they don't feel alone. So once you've been diagnosed and once you dive into this very daunting world of autism, you know there's always a place to come back to where you can have questions answered and you can be around people that get you. Autism Speaks is here to make sure that these families never feel alone. So this is such a super special day and I am always such a proud part. So proud to be a part of it every single year.
Well, that is a walk. Now, once again, kudos to Jennifer Jones, Sasha Spalding, the incredible Brandon Adachi, Suzette Martinez, Rebecca Haken, Kaylee, everyone in the LA office, and a big, huge congratulations to the LA Walk Committee, led by Charles Hassel. I have rarely been in a room with such incredible energy, and it's really an honor to be able to sit there and watch you guys work and help you as much as I can. Congratulations on a great walk, and you did an incredible job. The walk is pretty much why I work at Autism Speaks. I wandered into a walk about a year after my son Will was diagnosed. I was lost, had my head in the sand a little bit, and I decided to go to the walk. I went to the walk. It was life-changing. There were people there, 50,000 people, 40,000 people, that all had the same issues that I had, that had the same issues that my son had. And it was liberating to be around that energy, and provided me with an incredible boost of hope. And I haven't missed a walk since, and I don't think I will. And it's just as powerful today as it was the first time I wandered into a walk. I met my wife, Nava, at a walk. I mean, we had spoken, but the first time I saw Nava was at a walk. You know, so there's a very special place in my heart for the Los Angeles Walk, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I hope if you haven't been to a walk that you put that on your list of to-do things. Okay, today on the show we are going to talk to Nava Paskowitz-Asner, and we're also going to talk to Danny Bowman, who is an incredible animator who is on the spectrum. But the most important thing about her is that she is an incredible animator. So we're going to talk to her, and we're going to find out what she's doing. She's actually got a new project that she's trying to raise funds on a website for. So we're going to talk about that and give you the link to that so you can donate to that if you want. But first, we're going to talk to a staple of the show by now, Mr. Hollywood, Alex Fischetti. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Now, I'm sorry we missed each other in March. We couldn't kind of do an end zone dance. We couldn't do the Iggy Shuffle on our Oscar picks, but we did.
It's okay. We both did good. We had a few hits, we had a few misses, but we did pretty good this year.
What were the surprises?
Well, Sylvester Stallone not winning Best Supporting Actor obviously was a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Best Picture was a surprise.
That's right. And what? Remind us what won again?
Spotlight.
And that was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us picked Spotlight.
No. I think I went with The Relevant. I
think we both went with The Revenant. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think somebody, I don't know if it was Neva or the guest. I think the director of Jack of All Trades was. I think one of the girls picked Spotlight. I'm not so sure.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well,
I think so.
I certainly think that Spotlight deserved to win. It was a great film, a very compelling film.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of issues. Yeah.
And so now we're in a new season now, new Oscar season.
That's right.
Is there anything that's been released in January, February that you think might speak Oscar next year?
Oh goodness me! It's well, I mean, most of the movies coming out today are the big budget blockbuster because we're getting close to the summertime and the producers are looking to bring in a lot of big dough with their flicks. I mean, The Jungle Book is visually amazing, and then you have Zootopia, and those are the kind of movies people are seeing these days.
Have you seen Jungle Book?
Well, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I mean, having Bill Murray as Blue the Bear has got to be a very interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think Jon Favreau is he's a great director. I mean, I think everything he's done from Swingers to to Elf. He's got an incredibly wonderful sense of humor and sense of nostalgia in his movies. And I think that he's just a really good director and really good guy too. Really good guy too.
He needs to put your dad in more of his flicks.
You're right. You're right. We were talking about that the other day. You know, my dad, I think he's being inducted. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but he's being inducted into the Santa Claus Museum and the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. And I think he's played Santa more than any other actor out there. I think like 9 or 10 times he's played Santa. And he's not done. I'm telling you, he's not done. Someone will hire him to play Santa next year. It will happen.
If I'm in California, I'll like run to like a very recognizable Santa in the mall. I'll know it's him.
If he's shouting obscenities, yes, you're right.
To say the least.
So,
But-
Alex, it's been a kind of a difficult couple of months, right?
It's certainly, yeah. I mean, a lot's been going on. I mean, it's been very sad also in the entertainment business, wouldn't you say?
Exactly, and the music industry has been hit hard, has it not?
Yeah. I can't believe we lost Prince. I mean, next to I think music industry hasn't been rocked by a death like this since Michael Jackson back in 2009.
Well, I think David Bowie certainly was a loss, and I think that affected people. Certainly affected my household, quite a bit. But I think Prince it was interesting when Prince when the announcement that Prince had died came out. I just think everyone was so shocked. I mean, I think people knew that David Bowie had been sick.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone really knew anything about Prince having health issues. So I think the learning that he was gone was really a devastating thing for a lot of people. I mean, if you just look through the Facebook posts of my friends alone, it was incredible to see.
We keep losing the good ones in the music industry. All the good ones keep on leaving. It's just heartbreaking to see. And the music of Prince's that I really love. Of course, Purple Rain, Let's Go Crazy. But I love the music that he did for Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson.
I forgot about that. You're right. He did do that. He was incredible, though. If you look at the songs that he wrote for other people, it's pretty incredible. Of course, everyone knows he wrote "Nothing Compares to You," but to look at the other songs that he wrote, Stevie Nicks' "Stand Back," that song from hers in the '80s. I had no idea that Prince wrote that song, but he did, and the list kind of goes on and on and on. Of course, Sheila E. had a great working relationship with her. But he was a really prolific guy, master songwriter, just an amazing guitarist, and it's a real loss to the music industry and the entertainment industry to lose a guy like that.
Yeah, and just the world in general. He was a very, very good, sweet-natured soul. I mean, I remember I posted something on MTV. You know how much my faith means to me, and he wasn't afraid to say how much God meant to him, and he was just very, very private. I mean, not one to say too much, but he was generally very good with people, and all the way up to the end. There was outside his house in Minnesota a few days after he died. His staff and family members are handing out these big packages, which include like CDs and signed pictures and stuff like that. It's you don't see staff and family of somebody who just passed away do that after something like that.
No, I agree, and all these great stories are popping up about stuff that he did for other people. Just little kind of quirky things. Like there's a great story that Jimmy Kimmel told the other night about how he was on the show, and Prince said to him, "Oh, I want to play ping pong with you." So Jimmy Kimmel Jimmy Fallon, excuse me, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's like, "Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, we can play ping pong. Sure, you want to do that on the show? Great." So he does the show, no mention of ping pong at all, and then Jimmy Fallon's at dinner like the next night. And he gets his phone call from Prince's people saying, Prince is at this address. He's ready to play ping pong with you. Go. And he's at dinner. He's like, I'm at dinner. Well, I'm going to go play ping pong with Prince. So he goes to play ping pong with Prince. And they have one game. And Prince destroys him with the ping pong. And then he leaves. And that's it. It's just a great story. So if you look up Jimmy Fallon Prince on YouTube, it's a hilarious story and it's worth a watch. And then there's a great letter that I saw that he wrote Suzanne Vega, who wrote the great song Luca in the 80s. And it was this beautiful letter written to her, just telling her how much he loved the song and how it spoke to him. So definitely worth looking for that too. And it just kind of gives you an insight into who he was as a person, both the tender side and the kind of funny side. So
it's amazing. It's incredible. And Jimmy Fallon just posted a video clip of during last year's Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary party over at the Plaza Hotel.
Yes.
And Prince had his guitar and he was saying, "Let's go crazy" with all the celebrities on stage. That was amazing to watch.
it was great. It was great. It was great. Well,
Rest in peace.
rest in peace. Alex, thank you for joining us to talk about Prince. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you an assignment for next month.
Okay, so what is it?
I want you to review Jungle Book.
All right. I'll take some glimpses out of it, and I'll give you my input when I call in again.
All right, buddy. We're going to see you. We'll see you in May, and I thank you. And as
Absolutely.
always, you are more connected to Hollywood than anyone I know. And you live in, where do you live? Connecticut. It's amazing. Well, it's always great talking to you, Alex. Thank you.
Great talking to you, buddy. Thanks for letting me come in.
Absolutely, anytime.
Beautiful.
I look forward to this every month.
All right, fantastic. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, so that was Alex Fischetti from the wonderful state of Connecticut talking about stuff, Hollywood stuff, entertainment stuff. We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to the lovely Danny Bowman and my incredible wife, Nava Paskowitz-Asner. So we'll be right back with On the Spectrum with Matt Asner. Hello and welcome back to On the Spectrum with Matt Asner. I'm Matt Asner. I bet you couldn't guess that. And today we have an incredible guest. Actually, one of the people I think I've been most impressed with in the autism world was a young woman by the name of Danny Bowman, is a young woman by the name of Danny Bowman. I met her probably right during my second walk, so probably 8 or 9 years ago, I think. And she was probably about 10 years old, I think, when I met her, and she was an author already, and I was so impressed with her. And she gave me a book for my son, Will, and she's all grown up now, and she's an incredible young woman. She's an incredible autism advocate, and a great voice in our community. And ladies and gentlemen, I present Danny Bowman.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank you.
how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
And also joining us is my beautiful wife, Nava Asner. Nava Paskowitz-Asner.
Thank you.
And
Great to be here.
welcome to
as
the
always.
show.
Thank you. I think Danny was more like 16 though when you first met.
No.
I was more like 15 years old when
Yeah.
he
14,
met
I
me.
think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
you-
She just turned 21.
When did you write the
So it
book that
wasn't
you
10 years ago.
gave me?
It was when I was 14 years old. I wrote
Okay.
Danny and Goliath. I
Okay.
did not write it. I mean, illustrate it and publish it because it's written by John Benjamin Martin, Joey Travolta, and Richard Welch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may know Joey.
I do
think.
know Joey.
Yeah.
I do know Joey. Good friend. So you're an accomplished person. You're an author. You're an animator. You're a filmmaker. So tell us a little bit about what goes on.
What goes on with
Danny
my
Bowman.
own animation company?
Yeah, you have your own animation company.
Yeah, it's called.
So you're an entrepreneur.
That's right. I am.
Businesswoman.
That's right, a businesswoman. Of course, I couldn't
Strong
really have to
woman.
say something, right?
So tell me about your company.
So my company, Danimation Entertainment, is about animation, illustration, public speaking, autism advocacy, teaching animation to young adults on the autism spectrum, and fine and visual arts. It's a great company that I did, which means I have illustrated and published 5 books and premiered 6 award animating shorts at San Diego Comic-Con. Well, 5 of them actually, and for real. The 6th one is going to be premiered at Comic-Con.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So at Comic-Con this year?
Yeah,
And so you've had films premiere at Comic-Con before, right?
that's right.
So tell me what that experience was like, because I'm a bit of a geek. Okay,
Comic-Con
I've
is
been to
fun.
I've been to my share of comic book conventions, and I know what it's like, and it's become this kind of crazy world of creativity and hype. So, how does a young woman who has her own animation company, who has autism, how does she go to San Diego Comic-Con and deal with all the craziness? It's crazy.
In order to deal with all that craziness, when I first went to Comic-Con while premiering Mr. Raindrop and the Namazu at San Diego Comic-Con, they premiered simultaneously. When I first went to Comic-Con, I was like very extravagant. I was like, whoa, that was really huge or something in the moment like this when I went to Comic-Con. It's much bigger than other conventions that I've been to, like WonderCon, where Mr. Raindrop was first premiered in Anaheim, and Anime Expo.
And that's
Those are
still
big too, yeah.
that's still a big convention. I mean, a lot of people go to WonderCon. It's well known. It's busy, but San Diego Comic-Con is the
Overwhelming.
Very
Yeah,
overwhelming,
that's it.
especially with the most expensive tickets that get sold out so quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're an animation fan, obviously,
Yes.
and I would imagine most of that's anime. You like anime, right?
Anime is my biggest influences, but I also take influences from other Western animation. Typically, I like cartoons that are inspired by children's animation. That is something like Bobby's World and Magic School Bus, but I mainly focus on 7-year-olds and up for the animation. But it's just mainly children's animation.
Right. And so, what kind of anime were you into?
All kinds of anime that I'm into is mostly Pokemon and other
Oh, yeah, I love Pokemon.
video game adapted animes. Like there's Kirby Right Back at You, there's Sonic X, there's I was also into some of the other animes that are pretty much higher in the excuse me, it's hard for me to explain my thoughts correctly, right?
No worries. We're friends.
Did you ever see some of the Japanese, who made Totoro and Ponyo?
It's Hayao Miyazaki.
That's my favorite of all time.
Hayao
And he did-
Miyazaki of Studio Ghibli.
We are obsessed with that in our house. Eddie knows every word to Ponyo, and
Now Miyazaki, did he do Spirited Away? Did
Yeah.
he-
Yes, he did. It
And
was the
Totoro.
first. It was one of the 2D animated films that won the Academy Award for
Right.
Best
Right.
Animated Feature.
Right. So he's your favorite?
One of my favorites, indeed.
yeah, he's wonderful.
It's interesting. The first anime I ever saw there was a couple of them, but one of them was Vampire Hunter D. Do you know that one?
Vampire Hunter D. Never really heard of it, but I've
Okay,
heard of
well, there you go.
Vampire Princess.
And
Yeah.
Akira.
Yeah, I've heard of Akira.
And then there was one I was one of the earliest ones that I remember was I was working on a film called Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, and there's an anime called Barefoot Gen, I believe.
I never really heard of Barefoot Gen,
Yeah.
but I never heard of this. And my first anime that I just saw was Little Nemo: Adventures in Slumberland, which is
Oh, sure.
inspired by
That's great.
Winsor McKay's Little Nemo.
Amazing. I remember reading the graphic novels when I was into comic books. Incredible. Little
Yeah,
Nemo.
this
Little
is so
Nemo and
great.
Slumberland, right? So, okay. So you're working on a new project with Spectrum Laboratories.
It is called Chloe, an Orphan Story. It's a story that focuses on the 3 orphan girls who is named Chloe, Spencer, and Abby. And
Awesome.
all through singing they got their own singing voice, and they're trying to learn their ability to go through the power of friendship while trying to overcome this big and scary world out there. It's in other words, it's a universal tale of how our friendships get us through the most difficult times.
Wonderful.
And that's very true.
Yeah.
And so who are your collaborators on this?
My collaborators on this, I'm hiring 5 individuals with autism, including some of the people from Autism-Live, like Jake Fazio. There's also Jake Tashin, who is my friend of mine, who's going to be one of my students. Plus, we have the lead animator, whose name is Lauren, who is going to do the lead animation, and she does the character designs for Chloe and Orphan Store, which is really cool.
Well, no, I've seen I guess sample animation from this.
Yes, you have
On
seen the
Facebook.
trailer of Chloe
Right.
and Orphan Story since I sent you the link, right?
Right.
Exactly, and I got to tell you, it's really it's got this cool original feel to it, and it's really neat. So, can you talk a little bit about the look, because the look is interesting. It's not kind of what you would normally see in an animated piece. There's got a little bit of an edge to it, and so let's talk a little bit about what the inspiration is stylistically, and what you're trying to do with the piece.
The style is kind of like the 2D animated Tim Burton style, which means it's like all black and white. You have seen the movie Frankenweenie, right?
Right.
It's pretty much like very Tim Burton cartoon influence.
Coraline, like that kind of thing. Yeah. And so that's kind of it's 2D though,
Yes.
so it's not 3D.
It's
And-
not CG animated, in other words,
Is it-
just to avoid the confusion of the 3D.
And is it
Like Beetlejuice, it kind of reminded me
Little
the
bit.
color of.
a little bit, yeah. And it's drawing. You're drawing it.
Yes, I will be doing the drawing, but also teaching animation, like I mentioned in the beginning, about 5 animators who will be doing it. The others of the A team is we have Jason, who is the director and the creator of Chloe and Orphan Story. We have Garth, who is the music director, and Bob DeMarco, who is the music supervisor. And
Bob's a great
the
guy.
Spec
Yeah,
Lab guy.
great.
Spec Lab.
Spec Lab.
Spectrum Laboratories is making
And
this.
Jason.
Yes.
Yeah. So and so that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
And we're going to show your trailer right now. We're going to take a look at the trailer, and we're going to give them a link to the website
Which
of
is-
where they can.
Yeah, which is the
Help you make
Indiegogo
this.
campaign.
So explain what you're doing with the Indiegogo stuff before we show the trailer.
Okay, in this Indiegogo campaign, we are raising money to help individuals with autism. We're working this animated film as the professional artists. We're trying to get them to film festivals and other stuff. We also have a budget that we're working on to get like millions of dollars. I don't know, thousands of dollars or something. But
Well, if you
I'll
get
show
it,
you.
with these
I'll probably-
Indiegogo things,
yeah.
you never know. I mean, if you get enough word out there, you could actually
Start
make
high.
$1 million.
Aspire for the big thing.
I mean, your goal, that's the great thing. Your goal could be at $30,000, and you can end up raising like 5
million,
times
yeah.
that or something like that, right?
Yes. Well, the
So-
biggest production budget right now is production budget according to the pie charts for the Indiegogo website is the animation and the music side.
Well, okay, so this is Chloe and Orphan Story. It's a trailer for the movie that Danny Bowman's working on with Spectrum Laboratories. Take a look at this and donate. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Chloe and you're the trailer. La mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs a des reflets d'argent. La mer des reflets changeants sous la pluie. La mer au ciel d'été, qu'au fond ces blonds moutons, avec les anges si purs, Thanks for watching and supporting
Artists with autism.
Merci beaucoup.
Well, how cool is that? That's really cool. Danny, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really great.
That's amazing. So wait, you're the animation director for this project,
That is
right?
absolutely true, right? And I've also mentioned about the A team earlier from this interview.
That's so cool. So, well, let's make this happen for them, okay? So, if you go to speclabs.org, and you can get to the donation page from there, or I guess you could go to Indiegogo and search for Chloe and Orphan Story and find it there. But let's make this happen, and let's give them a good budget to work with, because I think that's incredible. I think this is really going to be an incredible project.
Incredible project indeed, and hopefully we'll get them to film festivals, especially at the biggest ones ever.
Right on.
High five!
Yeah.
So awesome.
High five! This.
I think that's awesome. So, okay. So now I want to talk about something else. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, okay? So like I said, when I saw you for the first time, you were 14 years old, and you had so much energy and very creative, and you've grown into this incredible young woman. And I've said that on Facebook before. You've grown into this incredible young woman who's a great autism advocate. Okay?
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, and I think the greatest thing about you is, and I'm not going to get into anything negative here, but the greatest thing about you is that you're so incredibly balanced. You have friends that feel differently about certain things, and I see you as a great unifier, as a person
Diplomat.
A diplomat.
A great diplomat who just balances between the parts of the positive and the negative side, I think.
Exactly, and you don't really want to focus on the negative. You want to focus on the positive.
That's what I was doing right now. Since there's too much negativity into the autism community.
I agree. I agree.
The best thing to talk about in the autism community: stay positive.
Yes,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. So how do you stay positive, though? I mean, what's your trick? How do you stay positive in situations that are
Hard,
maybe escalating and hard? I mean, and let's like Facebook, it gets difficult on Facebook sometimes, I'm sure, for you. So how do you stay positive? How do you steer away from the negative and stay positive?
In order to steer away from the negative, there's one very simple task. Either you say something nice or don't say anything at all. And sometimes
perfect.
Sometimes I avoid very negative conversations about the autism community, right?
Yes. Well, and I honestly believe that the future of the autism community lays in positivity and in acceptance and in inclusion. And I think you're doing an incredible job at really kind of motivating people to think about that. Because the great thing, I think one of the great things about you is that you are such a visual person. And I think people think visually. And I think you're giving them a huge treat because you do incredible work. And I think you have a voice and you also have vision. And I think that's a great thing. And I'm proud of you.
Oh, I thank you so much,
I think
Matt.
you've grown into an incredible person, and it's amazing to me because I have seen you grow up, and it's great. It's great. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We're really all flattered about it.
And she's gorgeous.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's turned into a gorgeous woman. From a gorgeous young girl to a gorgeous woman. So you brought me some incredible tickets.
That is great. And these tickets are bought from it's from the Festival of Human Abilities back in January.
Okay.
Like
And
the end of January.
And these are for the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we're going to give these tickets away. And so what should we do here? Should we say anyone who goes on the spectrum, the first, how many, we're going to do pairs of tickets away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First 5 people to say, give me the tickets on the spectrum page, will get these tickets. Complimentary passes to Aquarium of the Pacific.
I love the aquarium.
And it's valid from 1/29/2016 to 7/31/2016. So if you're not going to go before July 31st, don't do it. And if you plan on going before July 31st, bring it on. Just say, give me the tickets, and they're yours. So thank you for these. That's great.
No problem.
Little giveaway for On the Spectrum.
It's considered to be the biggest bonus ever for this show.
I think so. I think so. So
That's great.
So you're really into movies and stuff like that, right?
That is
And
absolutely
television.
true.
You watch a lot of television?
Well, I don't really watch television or movies that much, but I do. Well, what I do is I am one of the members from the CFA Hollywood, and I typically like to watch feature animated films that I study. It's not just about enjoying the entertainment. You're just really about. It's all about studying the story plots and studying what's the biggest message, especially if you're trying to aim for the Academy Awards. I mean, let me just rephrase that for a second. When you're trying to predict which one is going to win for Best Animated Feature.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So, do you know? Did you know all of the animated features and shorts that were the animated program this year?
Animated program this year? Well, I wonder
Inside
what
Out.
you mean.
Inside Out.
For the Oscars.
Yeah. Inside Out won the Oscars for Best Animated Feature, which turns out to be really great. The main message is that it's what makes the winner for Academy Award is the character designs, and best of all, it's the story plot that drives us. The biggest message is that going through puberty, when going through puberty, it's about teenagers, which is
Right.
the main subject. And the interesting thing about Inside Out, unlike any different types of Disney Pixar films, there is no actual antagonist character.
Well, she's kind of her own antagonist, isn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, for Riley.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting point. I never really thought of that. Now, are you a Disney fan? Are you like a fan of the old Disney films and like Snow White? And
I
Sleeping
was used to when I was a little kid, but I'm pretty much more diverse with other types of animations from animation studios. I'm mostly into the anime stuff, but I like other stuff and lots of animation stuff. In other words, generally an animation fan.
So who right now, other than yourself, who right now should we be looking at in the animation world and saying that's the person that's coming up? That person.
Oh,
is
I wonder if
the next
Danny
person.
knows Thurup, my friend Thurup Von Norman. He
no-
does Flapjack. He did Adventure Time.
Oh,
He does.
Adventure
He's
Time.
a very good friend of mine.
Well, Adventure Time is one of the greatest Cartoon Network shows going on. Especially, I know the creator of Adventure Time. I forgot his name, but he also did Lumpy Space Princess.
That's Thurup.
Yeah, him.
Thurup Von Norman. He's a surfer and he's a very close. Maybe we could have him. I should connect him with Danny.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Definitely. Well, Danny, I thank you for being on the show. You can hang out if you want to hang out and do a little, and be involved in the conversation I'm going to now have with Nava.
I'm in trouble.
I could join the conversation.
Yeah, you want to stay?
I would like to stay, indeed.
All right, you can stay. Anyone who comes on the show can stay for the whole thing if they want to. So, okay. So we will be right back with On the Spectrum, and we're going to just do our kind of family talk after this and see what happens. So we'll be right back with On the Spectrum with Matt Asner.
This is Logan Shepard. At first glance, he looks like a typical American teenager. He plays in a band, loves hanging out with his friends, he doesn't like doing homework, and he's not really fond of broccoli. But Logan Shepard is not your typical 14-year-old. Logan was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. He was nonverbal, made no eye contact, and his parents were told to abandon all hope. Instead, his parents began an intensive intervention treatment. At its center was a quality ABA program known as the CARD method. This is Logan Shepard now.
All I really want to say is, like, I'm kind of copying Martin Luther King. I kind of have a dream, like, that one day, like, I can just, like, inspire people and never give up. Because, like, that's what I want to do in life. Because if I can succeed, they can succeed. And I will succeed.
To follow Logan's musical journey, visit www.facebook.com/officialdrummerrock or at Drummer Rock on Instagram. For more information on the card method, visit www.centerforautism.com or call 800-345-CARD. Rock on, Logan.
Welcome back to On the Spectrum. And once again, joining me on this show is Danny Bowman and now the Paskowitz-Asner. And boy, have we had a month, right? Have we had a month or what?
I would say so. That's putting it mildly.
So we had some health issues in our family that hopefully are steering into a positive course with your mother.
Yeah, my mom had a stroke, unfortunately, about a month ago.
Yeah,
exactly.
I heard of it. It's a very devastating disease.
Yeah, it is. And she physically, thank God, she wasn't really affected, but cognitively, it's affected her greatly. And every day she's improving, thank God.
Which means she's gaining back something.
Yeah,
Back neurons.
it's like every day she has more memory, more ability that she had.
And the one thing about your mom is a fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, your mom fights.
Well, she had 9 children. She lived in a camper with my dad, who was a maniac. So she had to be a fighter.
She's a fighter. And you know, I've gotten to see her, 3 or 4 times, and she's an amazing.
One of our biggest hardships was the fact that she happened to be visiting one of the brothers in Orange County. So she had the stroke in Orange County. We're in LA, and I've been commuting, and it's difficult.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
If it were just that, it would be bad enough, right?
Yeah.
Then we discovered black mold in our house. We had to move. So there we go with that. And so we actually found a place and have moved in. And I've got to say, for the record, Nava Paskowitz-Asner is one of the greatest movers you've ever seen in
if
your
you're
life.
hiring, right?
And if you want to hire her to come in and arrange your move, she's like a perfect person to do that. And that might actually be more enjoyable than actually doing it.
No, I actually don't think I would like to do that. Thank you very much.
Why don't you?
No, I pass on that.
No, we have
I never want to do that again.
We have 6 kids, and moving 6 kids and ourselves, and we kind of have a lot of nostalgia stuff that's in boxes everywhere. It's a very difficult thing to do, is to move our family, and then if that weren't enough, if that wasn't everything right there, that would have been just great. But 3 days before our move, Nava sprains her ankle.
Oh,
and I tore the tendons in my Achilles heel, and I was on crutches. I was actually on.
Gruesome.
I know, it was pretty gruesome.
It was
and I was
quite a
on
month.
crutches on the actual moving day. So.
So I've got to say though, I mean, this is and there's one more thing that happened. I've never been more impressed with another human being than you during that whole month or 2 of activity. Yeah. Incredible, unbelievable.
But I think we really tested the strength and the resiliency of our relationship, because we've been saying for like at least a year since my dad passed. We've been through more in the short time that we've been married that most people go through in 30 years of marriage.
And it just keeps happening, right? It just keeps happening. But we keep having these things.
But we're still smiling, and we're still getting to the other side, thank God.
Well, we can look at each other and know that we're safe, and that, we still make each other laugh, thank God, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right, Nava?
Right.
We can still make each other laugh.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And
when I'm not making you cry.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Cry from joy, right?
Right.
But now, if that wasn't enough, we had one more thing going on, and we had this film crew from New Zealand following us for 4 days, and that was crazy.
That they really enjoyed all the chaos. The fact that there was all this going on in our lives, to them, was like the best fodder for their documentary.
I'm a little nervous to see what they come up with.
I am too, because we were mic'd the whole time, and there was a lot of balagan, the Yiddish word again, going on, and we were mic'd the entire time, and I'm sure there was quite a few 4-letter words being said.
Or maybe some 3-letter words, or definitely some 6-letter words.
Yeah, definitely. But they really enjoyed it, and the culmination of their whole, the documentary is called The Brady Bunch of Autism, which has become our tagline because we have 6 kids and 3 of them are on the spectrum.
Danny doesn't know what the Brady Bunch is.
Well,
I kind of
it's
heard of
about
it.
a couple who come together, they get married, and they both have kids from other marriages. And so when they get married, they blend their families, and they're like,
Actually, I just had that flash memory.
Yeah.
I kind of have heard
Yeah.
about the
There you
bread.
go.
And it's
Well, it
like,
was on,
there's
like,
a
Nickelodeon
story
for a
of
while.
a
It
lovely
was on Nick at
lady.
Night.
Anyway, so the end of their documentary ended with the walk, and then us finding out that we finally found a place. So it had a happy, upbeat ending to the.
Because we believe in happy endings. I mean, right? Don't we?
Yes,
Thank
we're
God.
ready for some.
Wait,
I'm
but how many houses-
ready for
how
a
many houses-
vacation.
how many houses do we go through before that one stuck?
A lot.
Like
a lot.
4.
It's hard to
right?
find.
Four
it's-
houses.
We have a lot to. I mean, there's a lot going on for our package to be.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to rent to a
To
a
a
family
pack
with
of
6
wild
kids.
Kids.
So, I think I deserve a vacation, don't you think, Danny? I deserve to go to Hawaii and surf,
Yeah.
and when my foot heals. But
It's one of the expensive states to go to, especially.
I grew up
to go
in
from-
Hawaii.
Exactly.
Oh,
Now it
that's
is
great.
one of the most
It is
expensive states to go to.
Yes,
So
especially.
if I went by myself, it might be actually a savings.
Oh,
don't you
I
think?
see. Oh, you want to go by yourself?
I wouldn't mind it.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
You heard it
mind
here first.
No.
She wants to go by
You
herself.
could go and do like a boys' adventure, and I'll go and do a girls' thing in
Okay.
Hawaii.
We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
that's not.
Like I
appropriate.
said, it is one of the most
That's not
expensive.
No,
appropriate.
Oahu is much cheaper than the other islands.
Well,
Let's-
Hawaii is.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about like some really cool things that are happening in the next week
Incredible things.
and month.
Tomorrow is Joanne Laura's group is performing at Autism Rocks, which I'm very excited about. Spencer is going to be performing as well.
And
What's the name of the?
And James Durbin.
James Durbin
is headlining.
James
Now
Durbin.
this is interesting because it's run by a young man named Alex Lim and a guy named Ned Spector, who Ned did stuff with the Red Cross. So it's this benefit concert that's happening up in
Yeah.
Universal City,
Mhm.
and free, I think.
It's free, and then you have to buy tickets if you want to see James
right,
Durbin.
Right, and James is a great guy. He's a very talented guy. It's all free. I just heard that it's all free.
Even James Durbin?
Even James Durbin.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, I mean, what they probably will do is ask you for a donation.
Donation.
I know that the donations are going towards Autism Society, I believe.
Mhm.
And but that's happening on Friday night.
Tomorrow night,
And-
Friday night. And then Sunday, the
Saturday.
30th.
Isn't it Saturday?
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Saturday.
It's called Raise
Saturday.
Your Voice.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
So actually, Danny knows what this is.
Yes.
So let's have Danny plug this.
Yes. What's on Saturday?
What's on Saturday is Raise Your Voice, that it features the people on the autism spectrum, like Rio Wild Soul Shocker.
Yes.
Spencer's also going to be here too,
Mhm,
right?
Spencer's singing. And it's an Atticus, wonderful Atticus Baldwin.
Wonderful
Atticus
Atticus
I
Baldwin.
love him.
He's an amazing kid.
And it's Jocelyn and
So it's Leaps and Bounds.
Leaps and Bounds. It's being held at the new Leaps and Bounds facility.
And that's on Saturday. And if people want tickets for that, they go to the Leaps and Bounds website.
Right.
And
Bounds is with a Z.
Bounds is with a Z. And they can buy their tickets at that website. That is not free.
Right.
So buy your tickets for the Leaps and Bounds event. It should be a very, very cool event. If you have not seen Rio Wiles, you want to.
Definitely.
And if you've not seen Spencer, you want to. Danny, you might be there, but you also might be studying for your final.
Yes, I have to be studying for the finals, especially with my math and English, because the academics, it's May. The week of May is the academic finals.
Wow.
This
You're
week
down
is
to
the
the wire.
studio finals.
Wow. And where do
So-
you go to school, Danny?
I go to Woodbury University, one of the best schools in Burbank.
That's awesome.
Small.
I know.
private.
I know a teacher from Woodbury.
Do you know who? Dory?
I know a teacher that works at Woodbury.
Who is it?
Matthew Manning, teaches at Woodbury.
Oh, you're
Wow,
Teaches
that's really
animation at
great.
Woodbury. No.
You have to connect
Matt,
them.
yeah, we have to definitely get you guys
Wow.
together. Matt Manning has done all the My Name Is videos. So he did My Name Is David. You remember that?
Oh,
My name is David. I've heard of it.
Yeah, so he did My Name Is David. He did My Name Is Neil. And he did the new one, which is premiering at Light Up the Blues on May 21st at the Pantages Theater.
Which we're
called
all very excited
My
about.
Name Is Spencer, and it's about Spencer Hart, and it's about her. It's about the trip through her life that where music allowed her to speak.
And
you know.
will it include clips of her in Chloe and Orphan's story?
It won't, but it will. But it will include clips of her from Light Up the Blues.
That sounds
last
great.
year.
Yeah.
And she sang Ave Maria, and she did an incredible job. And
That was great.
She's
Who's performing this year?
okay. So Light Up the Blues. Light Up the Blues is on May 21st, and we have an unbelievable lineup. And this is the great thing about Light Up the Blues. Light Up the Blues kind of grows every year, and this year I think we've got a lineup that kind of crosses age spectrum. So I think it's going to be really cool. So performing this year, we once again have Neil Young as our headliner, and Stephen Stills, and The Rides, which features Stephen Stills, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and Barry Goldberg are going to perform. One of my favorite young bands anywhere right now, The War on Drugs, is going to perform. Then we have Jacob Dylan performing, and Nika Costa, and the amazing Chris Stills. And
I'm so stoked you have Jack Black again. as the
Jack
host,
Black is
because
once
he
again for the
hysterical.
third time
He's wonderful.
emceeing the event. And one of the amazing things is we've got every year 3 performers on the autism spectrum perform at Light of the Blues, and every year they basically raise the bar because
Right.
and they rise to the occasion and become, at one with these megastars that I just mentioned. So this year we have Rio Soul Shaka is going to perform. I believe he's performing a song called "It's Shocking."
Wow.
Then we have Nikki Nick. Do you know Nikki Nick?
Nikki Nick? Never heard of him.
Her.
Her, yes, Nikki Nick.
So, and I
Oh.
was amazed when I met Nikki Nick. I was amazed because she looks a lot like Amy Mann.
Oh, wow.
So she's got Shaka blonde
Right.
hair.
Cool.
So she's going to perform at Light of the Blues, and then Kyle Cousins is
Oh,
performing.
right.
Well,
Uh,
Kyle Cousins.
yeah.
I
You know
have met
Kyle?
him.
Great.
Yes, I have met him from the Genius of Autism event.
Oh, good.
While I was during my junior year of high school.
So
Great.
he's performing at Light Up the Blues. And then we've got some amazing actors who are going to join us again this year. Once again, Christina Applegate's going to join us. We have Matt Walsh from Veep going to join us. And we have Judd Apatow's going to join us. And it's going to be great.
Awesome.
So that's all
And
happening.
I'm so excited it's in May because it seems like everything's crammed together for Autism Awareness Month.
We're letting everyone breathe a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's really wonderful that it's in May.
Letting everyone breathe a little bit. And then we're going to come out and hit the ball in May. And May 21st at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. Get your tickets now. It might already be sold out. I think we're pretty close to being sold out. There might be a few tickets here and there. You might want to check like 2 weeks before the performance because they kind of release some tickets intermittently through those 2 weeks. So check it out. But it's going to be an amazing night. We're going to premiere the film My Name is Spencer. And it's going to be a great night.
So exciting.
Can't wait.
Have you ever been to Light Up the Blues?
I have
she
been to
did.
Light Up the Blues. Probably twice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
I
ones
remember
did you go
Danny
to?
at the...
Went there 2014 and
When John Mayer
2015.
played, you were there.
Me?
John
Yeah,
Mayer.
John Mayer.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the last one or the one before that? Did you go to
last
the
John
one.
Mayer
Nokia?
was the last two. That was the last two.
Did you go
Yes.
last year or did you go to Club Nokia?
I went there last year, and
Oh,
but
okay.
not the Club Nokia one.
Okay, yeah, that was the first one. You can watch that on iTunes if you want, because it's available on iTunes.
Wow, it sounds
Just
pretty
download
great. Yes.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Well, Danny, I want to thank you for being an incredible guest today. You are smart. You're beautiful. You're funny, and you just have a great.
Brilliant.
But thank you
Brilliant.
so
Yeah,
much.
you're brilliant. And I wish you luck with Chloe the Orphan story. Will you come back and let us know how it went?
Yeah, it will. I will come back, and after Chloe and Orphan stories complete, I will tell about how amazing Chloe the Orphan Story is.
Well, and we can see it, right? We'll
Yeah.
be able to see it, or see.
I mean, we'll be, right?
Oh, one thing I did want to ask you. So, Chloe and Orphan Story, is it a short? Is it a?
It's an animated 5-minute short.
It's an animated 5-minute short. Okay, and
Great.
and you'll be showing it in festivals and entering it in Oscar
Including
raves.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Very
That's so
good.
awesome.
Very, and is it set to premiere at San Diego Comic Con?
That is absolutely true. It's possible, but it can be in larger film festivals.
Great. Excellent. Well, I wish you lots of luck. You deserve it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being such a positive force in the autism community. I look at you and I hope for the future. I have hope for the future. And I hope our children are just as positive and beautiful as you are as a young adult with autism.
Right. Thank you.
And I appreciate everything you do. Okay?
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much
much,
for
Danny.
having me join me for this amazing interview. It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. The pleasure's all ours.
Definitely.
Nava, as always, I don't know what I'd do without you. You're the apple of my life.
Apple of your eye.
The apple of my life.
Or the apple of
And
someone's
thank
eye.
you for all the things you've done over the past 2 months. I know it's been hard.
And I could say the same for you. I've never seen you work so hard.
And
All juggling everything.
and hopefully we'll get a little break now for a couple months and won't have.
And
the-
maybe I'll take you with me to Hawaii.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Hawaii's
you very much.
an incredible trip, right?
Yes, yeah. Oh, well, the last thing I'm going to say is, if anyone's around on June 11th,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be performing with a band that I performed with back in '83 and '84 for the first time in 33 years. And, 32
Can we
years.
put a picture up of you
I
from
will.
those days?
I will put a picture up,
Yeah.
and we're playing Molly Malone's first time in 32 years.
And
It's-
everyone's gonna dress 80s that night.
Everyone's going to dress 80s that night, and it's going to be great.
It's gonna be
great.
fun. And Danny can go because she's 21 years of
Yeah,
age.
I
That's
should
right,
be
you
able
can
to go.
go.
Totally
Yes.
go.
Well, you should come. So basically, it's a band that I was in '83, '84.
But first, I gotta check my-
When you were
When I was
the
a
lead
youngster.
singer of
Grand Manor.
no, but you were kind of like Psychedelic Furs type.
Oh yeah, we were like Psychedelic Furs or Echo and the Bunnymen.
What was the other
Cure,
one? The great
Joy Division.
Yeah, Joy Division.
So I mean, those were our big influences. The Doors were a big influence, and so we're going to go back.
gonna be
We're
fun.
going to have fun. We're going to have an
You're gonna
amazing
wear
time, and I want to thank.
mohawk.
I want to thank Roland for helping us with that,
Definitely.
and we're also a sponsor of Light Up the Blues, and so if you're in town on June 11th and you feel like coming to a club and hearing some nostalgic post-punk music, come on over
Have an
and,
Irish whiskey at Molly
and
Malone's.
have fun with us. So until then, until next month, our May show, I want to thank you for helping me make this show a success. And I want to thank Shannon Penrod and everyone on Autism Live for giving me the opportunity to flap my lips and spout off about things. I want to thank Autism Speaks for giving me the opportunity to do this as well. So until next month, I say thank you, keep the hope alive, and we'll see you in May.
The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. The Center for Autism and Related Disorders advises working with a board-certified behavior analyst who has experience with autism before starting any intensive behavioral intervention. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Autism Live. We got quite a day here going on. I hope that you joined us a little bit earlier. If you're just tuning in and you're going, wait a second, what was happening before the show was starting? We had a special edition of On the Spectrum with Matt Asner that aired this morning for the first time. If you didn't get a chance to see that, it will be available this afternoon for you to see it on YouTube. What a great, great episode of On the Spectrum. His special guests were Danny Bowman, who, if you've watched the show before, you know she's a fabulous young animator, got a lot of exciting projects, lots of wonderful things to talk about with Matt, and also Nava Paskowitz-Asner was on the show, and Alex Fischetti, who is a regular now on the Spectrum. So all of them were guests on the show. It was a great, great show talking about a lot of exciting things that have just happened in the month of April and are about to happen this weekend. I want to just take a second here at the start of the show before I forget, and we'll continue to talk about them throughout the show. You just saw a film for the Act Today fun run for military families that happens in San Diego. It's happening on Saturday. We're all very excited about it here because we're excited for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it's a beautiful, beautiful location. It's a beautiful, wonderful event with a great resource fair and things to do. CARD, the Center for Autism and Related Disorders, has a play area that they sponsor that's just for kids. We will be there. Kelby will be there videotaping. I will be there running crew for Kelby and also meeting and greeting. And Autism Live has donated bubbles in conjunction with Imperial Toys at the kids area. So we'll be blowing some bubbles tomorrow because you know we love some bubbles and we love Imperial Toys. So we hope that you go to that. It's one of the reasons why we love it. As I said, we're all going to be there. Pretty much everybody that you see on the show that's a regular will be there at this event. We don't all get to be at any one particular event very often, but Nancy Allspaw Jackson will be there. I will be there. Dr. Doreen Grampichet will be there. Kelby Wood will be there. My son will be there. Nancy's son will be there. I mean, really, who else do you need at this event, right? So we encourage you. You can still sign up to run, and if you cannot get to the San Diego area, you still can sign up to be a virtual runner to support this event. The entire event goes to support military families who have children that are on the autism spectrum with grants for the things that they need, be that help with paying co-pays or help with a summer camp, getting an iPad. It's really a wonderful thing to do to make sure that our men and women who are serving in the military don't have to fight one battle someplace else on foreign soil while fighting a battle here to make sure that their kids get services. So that's a way that you can help and support. And, I always say, if you're feeling low and like nobody's helping you, the best thing in the world that you can do is step up and help somebody else. And it's amazing how that opens up doors. So want to tell you about that. So that's happening on Saturday in San Diego. On Friday night, tomorrow night, there's a big event that Autism Live is so proud to be a part of. It's called Autism Rocks LA. We had Alex Lynn on the show a couple of weeks ago, a young 17-year-old on the spectrum who has been the victim of bullying, who said, I want to do something to change the equation a little bit. So this is the second time he has done a concert, but it's the first time he's done it in Los Angeles. And boy, they say go big or go home. Alex, he goes big. So this event is happening at the Universal City Walk stage. If you've been to Universal City Walk in Hollywood, California, it's a big, huge stage with a big jumbotron over it. Some of our favorite guests on the show will be performing on that night. We just recently had Soul Shaka with us, a young man who raps. He's going to be at the show. Spencer Hart, who has sung on our show, a lovely opera singer, she's going to be performing. We're going to be, and a little bit later on today, we're going to have some of the people from the Miracle Project. They're going to be performing. Joanne Laura and her Autism Movement Therapy dancers are going to be performing. Susan Scheller, who we've had on the show before, is going to be performing. And then if you've been watching it all, we've been showing the video about Logan Shepard, the amazing drummer. Whew, that young man, okay? His band is going to be performing, and the penultimate of the evening, the closer for the show is James Durbin from American Idol. I just get so excited thinking about the whole thing, and I have been involved in some of the planning meetings. It's going to be amazing, you guys. There are some things that are going to happen that are just going to be surprises. I can't tell you. But that's at Universal City Walk. It's free. You will have an opportunity afterwards. I know they are videotaping interviews. There will be a video about it that they're going to be sharing afterwards. But if you are in the Los Angeles area or the San Diego area, pick one of those two events, go. They're not the only events that are happening this weekend. Also, the Autism Society of Los Angeles is doing a celebration of autism acceptance and empowerment month, doing the 2016 Reimagine Autism Awards. That's happening on Saturday, April 30th from 11 to 1 p.m. here in Los Angeles. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And then there is another event on Saturday night. There's too many things to do. There are too many things to do, but they're all really amazing and miraculous. Okay, I want to start out by saying to you that this entire show is meant to be interactive. We want you to participate. We've got an amazing show for you today. Some things that I'm really excited about. Kelby's going to show you some of the different ways that you can be participating with us, some of the different ways that you can be asking questions. I will remind you, our homepage is autism-live.com, a great place for you to interact with us. If you put your cursor in the box that says your question, start typing, hit enter. It shows up here on my screen. You and I can have a conversation. More important than that, you can have a conversation with some of our experts that we have on the show. I do always try to remind you at the start of the show that while we have many experts on the show, I'm not one of them. I know. I'm not an expert in autism. I'm a mom, so it's not like I just showed up and don't know anything, and I'm a proud mom. But that gives me the passion to want to help you to get the help and support and resources that you deserve and that you need. It is not one size fits all. So, you know, what happened with my son and what my son needed is not what each and every one of you needs. Because each and every person who's on the autism spectrum is individual and they have individual needs. But I am committed to helping you figure out what it is that you need, whether you are a parent, you are a teacher, a practitioner, someone who loves someone on the autism spectrum, or you yourself are on the autism spectrum. I and we, all of us here at Autism Live, want to help you to get to the resources that will get you to the next level. That's what's important. Okay, having said all of that, we like to start out every morning with something we fondly refer to as the jargon of the day. This is when we take on one word, one phrase, one acronym, and we give you the actual definition, which gives us all a headache usually, and then we give you a working definition so that you can get a hold of this term and see how it might help you at the stage that you're at right now. So today's jargon is ESY. It's the perfect time of year to talk about this ESY. If you're going to your IEP meetings, you'll see that there's a box, ESY, yes, no, and then on some IEPs it says deferred. What we're referring to here is extended school year. So let's take a look at what our actual definition. ESY refers to special education and related services provided to a child with a disability outside the normal school year in accordance with the child's IEP and at no cost to the parents of the child. Okay, there are some asterisks that are invisible here but implied. There are a couple of things that you need to know. Just because your child has an IEP doesn't mean that they qualify for ESY. It isn't necessarily the case. There is the law of 2/3, and that is if you can prove, or if they think there's a reasonable chance that this individual student will lose 2/3 or more of the skills, any of the skills that they have acquired during that year before coming back to school year, and it would require more than 6 to 9 weeks to gain those skills back, then they are absolutely legally entitled to ESY. Now I want to move on to our working definition because I want to put this in a broader stroke for you. Our working definition is ESY is an opportunity to catch up or to at least maintain skills. We all need to be thinking of it in this way. As a former teacher, there is a phenomenon that we all know happens with all students, whether they have a diagnosis, they have any kind of a disability or not. This is neurotypical children too. Summer happens, like we get to the end of the school year, summer happens, and there is always a slide. For kids who don't maintain skills, there is a slide. And it is so profound that now you will see that when you go back to school, all teachers here in the United States have a built-in time period in which they review what happened in the previous year before they get into the new year's standards. Now, at some schools, this might be a week, 2 weeks, and some schools where there's a bigger slide, you will see it already built in 6 to 9 weeks. And the further we get into this economical chaos that we've been mired in for quite a while now, the longer it's getting, because schools are trying to look at their budget and say, we don't have the opportunity for extended school year for students, and so we're going to build it into the school year. So you might be seeing that you're not being offered ESY, and if you ask why, they say, oh, we just do the review in the fall. Well, you know what? That's a bad way of looking at things, even if you have neurotypical students. It makes me break out into hives as an educator. But it's especially detrimental to our kids on the autism spectrum. We talk all the time about getting our kids caught up and never letting them fall behind again. Right? This is a phrase that Dr. Grampiche used a lot and uses a lot when she's having parents come into CARD. We're going to catch your child up and never let them fall behind again. And I think those are words to put on your wall. If you've got young kids that are behind, like make a sign or put it on your bathroom mirror because they're words to live by, right? So how can we help our kids to get caught up? If they're already school age, so many of you will write in and say, well, I didn't start early intervention at 3. My kid's already at 5 years of age and he's going to school. And how do I get in 40 hours of therapy? And it's tough, if not impossible, right? So we take every available hour that we can to help our kids to get caught up, but the summers are an opportunity for them to get caught up. If the neurotypical kids, if some of them are going to slide back, that's an opportunity for our kids. It's imperative that they at least maintain or inch forward. It's the tortoise and the hare, right? It's going to take us longer to get there, but if we keep moving forward and don't slide back, and every once in a while the other kids are sliding back, it inches us that much forward. So it's super duper important. If you're not getting ESY offered by your school district, talk to them about it first of all. Raise the issue. Tell them that you know about the law of 2/3 and that you're concerned that your child might slide back. But if you really can't get it, it's time to take matter into your own hands. And I think it's important to look at what are the skills that your child is the most behind on, that you need the most catch up on, and not try to take everything on. Pick 1 or 2, 3 at the most things that you're going to work on that are school skills, and that may or may not be something academic, right? It might be an OT goal. It might be a social goal, but look at your child and say, okay, where are we now? Where do we need to get to? What are we most behind on? And the way I like to think of this, so that it doesn't get too dragged down into other things, is just sit for a moment, be quiet, and say, boy, if there was one thing that my child could do that would make a huge difference, what would it be? What would it look like? And that's probably the skill that you want to work on. That one thing that you're like, oh, if that, I will tell you that in a lot of the summers past, we have looked at handwriting for my son, and because his handwriting, he needs to be a doctor. Because he can write prescriptions, but that's, but it's gotten so much better. To me, it's like the dial moves so slowly that it makes me nuts. But every single year it has gotten better because we've targeted it in the summer. That didn't mean that we had to go to extended school year and go to school. That meant that I needed to make it a priority every day that before the fun stuff happened, and that's exactly what I did. We did handwriting, and then there was a fun stuff reward for it. Make it fun. Don't make it drudgery. But extended school year, for some of you, it's a very real thing. Make sure that it's worthwhile. It is an opportunity to either get caught up, and remember, incrementally, anything that moves the dial forward is important, or it's an opportunity to maintain skills. If your child is doing ESY, make sure that that's what's happening and that it's rewarding for them. It has the real possibility over years to make a huge, huge difference. I am told that my son is no longer, his handwriting is no longer so bad that it doesn't qualify for being at grade level. What? To me, it's still atrocious, but apparently there's a lot of kids in 7th grade that have not great handwriting, and as long as the teachers can read it, we're still working on it. And I encourage you to work on the thing that you need to work on with your child. Make it fun. All right, moving on. We always have a question of the day. You can see where we're going to go with this. And my iPad has ceased to do anything, Kelby. It's useless to me. We're asking you, what are your plans for making progress for this summer? Now, you remember last week's mindfulness tip, and we have a mindful tip for you later on today. But last week's tip was about asking positive assumptive questions. And this, my friends, is a positive assumptive question because it assumes the positive that you are going to make progress this summer and that you do have a plan. You see that? What are your plans for making progress this summer? And you might go, I don't have plans, but your brain immediately starts to think, but I should make plans for making progress this summer. Remember that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Right? So we're going to make a plan for what the progress is for this summer. But again, you're not going to take on the world. 1, 2, I think 2 is best. If you have to, go for 3. But make sure that it's interlaced with fun and that everything that you're working on is going to be fun. I am working on this right now, the whole concept of what are we doing to make progress. I don't have it figured out yet. And I want to be clear about that. But it's important that we're a little bit late, but it's not impossible. People are still figuring out the summer camps, but this really is the time. If you're going to do a camp, I have to tell you that I talked to Temple Grannon twice in the last month, and she asked me, this is what she asked me. She said, what's your plan for Jem for the summer? Because they're old friends now. And I said, well, I really want, and she said, and I kind of hesitated. And she said, what? And I said, well, I really want this very specific thing, and she said, so what's the problem? And I said, I'm not finding it anywhere. And she said, well, then you need to create it. You need to create it in your garage. Now, I don't think I'm going to create it in my garage. But she was saying if there isn't a camp or a summer school, and if you can't afford it, look at what you need for the child and get somebody in the neighborhood and trade with other people and make it happen. That this is what they used to do. And so I'm working on that, Temple. I'm working on that. And I'm encouraging all of you to figure out what is it your child needs and think outside the box. How could you make that happen? This summer is the opportunity to, gloves off, do things in a different way. I think about Christina Adams that we had on the show a couple of weeks ago talking about camel milk, but it was her book, A Real Boy, that turned the tide for me. And one of the things that she did in A Real Boy, her son was constantly taking apart the vacuum cleaner and he was interested in planes. And so she went, okay. And she decided, I don't know whether it was a spring break or it was summer vacation, but she took him to the nearest teeny tiny airport where there were pilots with small planes. And so she just took him to the airport, and then she took him to the airport, and eventually she hired somebody to take him up in a plane for just a half an hour. And, you know, those are the kinds of things that we can do in the summer when we're not on that treadmill of, you know, you got to get to here, you got to get. So think outside the box. What's the dream? And then how can you make that happen? Advice from Temple. All right, moving on. We always have a topic of the week, and our topic this week, our very short week, this is summer catch up. And this isn't just for our kids, this is for us too. What do you need to catch up on? Because we have built-in places in the year where we get to reset, right? Every Monday is a reset. Every Monday is an opportunity. We go, okay, what are we doing different than we did before? Holidays are an opportunity to reset, and the summer is an opportunity to reset. New Year's, we have our New Year's resolutions. Well, it's time to be looking not at New Year's resolutions, but what are our summer resolutions? What do we need to catch up on? I know the last couple of summers I have felt that I didn't feel the summer. There's just like we talked about for the holidays at the end of the year. There's certain things that make it feel like the holidays. There's certain things for me that make it feel like summer, and sometimes that means rearranging your schedule and rearranging your priorities. What do you need to catch up on? Because it might just be being with you. There's something wonderful about summer because there's an opportunity sometimes to just be. Whether it's sitting on a beach with a book or sitting with friends at an outdoor cafe and watching people go by, there is something about summer that lends itself to that. So if that's what you need to do is just sit and be, oh, what a wonderful thing to catch up on. So we're going to be talking about that today, and we've got a great mindfulness tip for you coming up in a little while. But our show today, great show. We had Catherine, and I'm going to murder her last name, Paskowitz, who's going to be with us. She is the host of the Autism Show. And if you guys don't know about the Autism Show, you need to know about the Autism Show. I was a guest on the Autism Show a couple of months ago. Great podcast. They're nice and short and informative, and she has the best guests. Honestly, she beats us hands down sideways at having such a great variety. Amazing woman, and she is a former therapist, and she's got a great new book that is just out. It's called the Autism Activities Handbook, and if you get it, and you should, and it's available on Amazon, as you open it up and you see the different endorsements, you will see my name because I personally endorsed this book. It's a great book. So Catherine's going to be with us in just a few minutes to talk about the book and about the Autism Show. Then we have our Mindful Thursday tip. Today we're talking about how to strike a pose and how that might change the endorphins in your body. It's science. It's science, and it's a wonderful thing. So, and then in our second hour, we're going to have Coach E. Elaine Hall is going to be with us with some special guests from the Miracle Project, talking about some of the different things that they have coming up, including that concert tomorrow night, Autism Rocks LA in Universal City Walk. I will be at that as well. Okay, so we're going to take a break, and then it's time to talk with Catherine Paskowitz from the Autism Show, and she's going to correct me on how to say her last name. Stick with us.
Hi, I'm Kara Kaczynski, the Pocket Occupational Therapist, and we're here in Dallas, Texas at the Future Horizons Autism Super Conference. So the book is the Special Needs School Survival Guide, and it's everything you wanted to know about school. It is okay, so it starts out with just different diagnoses that you might see, and then I explain them in clear terms, no technical jargon, and then each little diagnosis area has about, 50 to 100 activities that you can do at home or at school or cheaply and effectively. So it's just full of information that you can use right now. And the cool thing about it is at the end of every chapter are resources that you can use and access in the internet from a computer. And it's not just for kids with any diagnoses either. It's for kids that are just having trouble with handwriting or with dressing in school or transitions too. Well, both of my kids are on the autism spectrum, so it's important to me that when I learn something for other people, you know, as I research it for occupational therapy, I want to try it at home. So then I take what works and I put it in a book, and what doesn't work gets thrown out the window. And the other thing is I've just started to research for webinars, because our kids, as you know, if our kids are aging, so they start out these cute little babies with autism, and now they're getting to be teenagers and young adults, and we need help with modifying the environment for them, transition planning, and especially for IEP goal writing, for functional things that they can work on, not just handwriting, but then going beyond into the transition to young adulthood. Yeah, the misnomer at this point in the school systems is that we just do handwriting. So we are actually not handwriting teachers. We can modify or help rectify a grip that's inefficient. So if a child doesn't have that nice, pretty little tripod grasp, we can help to get that. However, when the kid's in 2nd or 3rd grade, then we look at efficiency. So if the grasp is efficient, if it's a quadrupod grasp, or if it's some kind of funky grasp, and the child can write efficiently, then we leave it alone. But if not, then we go to electronic accommodations. So OTs then can look at keyboarding and what kinds of keyboards would fit the student best. Also sensory processing, as the kids get older, it looks different. So we can look at sensory processing as it relates to function in the school. And then we also can look at behavior and transition planning. Other things we can do is work on seating. So if the child's having trouble sitting still in the classroom, we can modify that too. So not just handwriting, not just sensory, but we look at behavior, transitions, so anything that affects that student's school day. Right, so that's a really good question, because sensory processing disorder did not make it into the last DSM, which is the way that medical professionals classify disorders. So it did make it into the classification under autism, but sensory processing disorder is very confusing, and a lot of therapists treat it differently. So the general overview is that sensory processing is either a heightened response to stimuli in the environment or a too low, which is hypo, response. So if the student perceives every noise around them is equally as important, or every feeling, so I'm sitting here, I can feel the chair, my sweater, the noise around me, then it's hard to concentrate and focus in the classroom on what you're supposed to be paying attention to. So we would use something, maybe a suggestion could be a weighted lap pad or some kind of fidget tool for the student to fidget with, or we can even look at special positioning in the classroom, so preferred seating. Then with sensory, transitions can be hard because any unexpected bump in the classroom or in line can set the child off into a fight or flight, which is when they really have a tantrum and freak out. So when they're in a fight or flight mode, they may fly off the handle for no apparent reason, maybe just being bumped by another student. So it's our job to be detectives and to figure out why the student is having that meltdown. So my CDs were created for my own kids my son in kindergarten didn't like the fire drills. So he was afraid to even step foot into the classroom because the fire alarm may sound. Of course, the school's not going to say, oh, let's just set off the fire alarm for your son, Bob. You know, so we thought, where can we get a fire alarm? So we went into a recording studio and picked a whole plethora of sounds that you couldn't control, fireworks, thunder, sirens, and we put them on a CD, and I wrote nursery rhymes, changing the words to blender, blender, it's okay, or you know, different little, Mary had a little lamb is, you know, something to do with thunder. So they're kind of fun, and that way the student can control the volume of the sound. It's not a listening therapy, there's no headphones involved. It's just a fun way to control sounds that you normally couldn't control. So they're for sale at my website, thepocketot.com.
What is inclusion?
What is inclusion?
What is inclusion?
And what is inclusion?
I have been asked about inclusion many, many times, and what is it?
Inclusion to me is everyone getting together and playing together and learning together here at Mardi Gras for Autism.
Inclusion is acknowledging someone's differences and needs they need in the world and making an effort to help them.
I'm a parent of a beautiful autistic girl. She's 17. Inclusion is treating her like everybody else.
Is the opportunity for my son to be anything he wants to be and do anything he wants to do.
Inclusion is allowing everybody, giving everyone a chance to play together, no matter how different they are. So what do you think, Mr. Reg? Had a good definition? I suppose it was mostly satisfactory. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Shannon Penrod, and we're at the ABCs and XYZs of Special Needs Conference. And this year, for the first time, they've got something really remarkable. It's the Entrepreneurial Boutique. These are all items that have been made and are being sold by individuals who have special needs. So we're going to do a little shopping and talk to some of these fabulous entrepreneurs. Come on.
My name is Molly Rarick, and I'm founder of Breed's Gift. We're a nonprofit that serves teens and adults with special needs, like Chase here. We were founded in 2013 and serve people in the Conejo Valley, Santa Barbara, and LA.
Our main objective is to give our participants the skills they need to gain a more independent life.
My name is Shelley Cox, and Lisa Zalagi and I are founders of Creative Steps and Create Micro Business Enterprises. And the items that we're selling here today are all made by the clients who have passions about what they want to make, and then they get the profits from what they make after we've paid all of the other expenses.
We are here today because my goal is to be independent, and also I would like to share all my artwork, and I would like to sell.
Thinking about at his young age being a businessman, it's amazing. I cannot be more proud.
Welcome back to Autism Live. We're so thrilled because joining us via Skype, we have Catherine Paskowitz. She is the host of The Autism Show. And as I said before, if you have not been listening to The Autism Show, we're thrilled to remind you that you should be listening to The Autism Show. She's got great guests, and you're a wonderful host and a wonderful resource. And you've got a new book out, Catherine, which we want to talk about. But first of all, thank you and welcome to Autism Live.
Hi, Shannon. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm thrilled to have you. I was saying earlier that you had me as a guest on the Autism Show not that long ago. And I was saying to you during the break that you are an amazing woman who travels and goes places. And I don't remember where you were in the world, but it was someplace exotic. And that was where you were doing the interview from. It was fascinating because where were you? Were you in Thailand?
I was in Cambodia at the time.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed that you were doing a show from Cambodia. But we were having troubles with Skype, and you just impressed me because you just persevered regardless. And I thought, boy, this is an amazing young woman who's doing amazing things. So thrilled to be able to have you on the show, and thrilled to talk about your new book, which is the Autism Activities Handbook, Activities to Help Kids Communicate, Make Friends, and Learn Life Skills. I love this book. In fact, I did a review for it in the opening pages of the book because I loved it that much. So talk to our viewers a little bit, Catherine, about your background and why you wanted to write this book.
Sure. So for the past 8 years, I've been an ABA therapist working one-on-one with kids on the spectrum. It's been part-time now that I run the Autism Show podcast. And this book, The Autism Activities Handbook, I got the idea to write this book because it's the book I wish I had when I was working with these kids one-on-one. So a lot of ABA therapists and kids working, or people working one-on-one with these kids, they don't get a lot of training that the behavioral consultants have. So a lot of the times you're just thrown into a situation with kids, and you don't know sometimes what are fun games or activities to keep them entertained and learning during your session with them. So this book initially came from that idea, and I consulted with different ABA therapists, consultants, occupational therapists, SLPs, and they contributed some of their ideas to activities and games that you'll find in the book.
Yeah, and I can I say I love the format of it. We just before a little bit before your interview, we played a clip of Kara Kaczynski, the Pocket OT, and we love Kara. We love her books, The Pocket OT. I'm a huge fan of hers. She's a regular on the show. She actually wrote the foreword for your book, so it's all a little interrelated for me. But one of the things that I love about her books and that I love about your book is that it's so accessible. You don't have to sit and read it cover to cover. You can open the book in any place, and on any one page there's encapsulated an activity that you can read it in just a couple of minutes and go, hey, this is something I could probably do right now. I wouldn't have to take a half an hour to set up. Maybe I need one thing for a supply, but it's probably something I already have in my kitchen or in my home somewhere, and you can do it right then. I love that about this book, Catherine.
Yeah, Shannon, that was one of my initial ideas when I first started writing out the layout of the book. I've worked with a lot of parents and educators that are in there working with the kids. And when you're working with kids, you don't have a lot of time to sit there and sift through a giant book, right? So that was my initial idea, to make it really accessible, easy to find an activity, and make it so that all the materials are right there in your home.
And further, you also segment the book into different types of lessons that would help with different types of things. So you have a chapter that's just on activities that you can do that build communication. I'm just going through the list here. You've got one on social skills. You've got one on life skills. I think that's so smart, so that I don't have to hunt and peck. I can go through, and if I'm working on community, we were just talking before about how important it is to be doing things during the summer to help your kid to get caught up. And for some of our families that are watching right now, they get more time because their children have less services. And sometimes parents are a little bit lost about what can I be doing to help that's fun and helpful. This is really the book to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And a lot of parents during the summer, they hire extra help with the kids. So sometimes they'll hire babysitters or educators to come and, keep their kids occupied in the summertime when they're not in school. And this is a perfect time to give a book like this to one of those caregivers.
Yeah, let's give an example. What's one of your favorite activities in the book, Catherine?
One of my favorite activities is one about a nature walk. So a lot of kids on the spectrum, they really love going out for walks in nature. And one of the activities you can do when you're going out into the community, just for a simple walk, or maybe you're going to the park, is to bring along your smartphone. Hopefully your smartphone has the camera. And what you'll do is you'll go and find something that your kid enjoys. So in the book, we have an example of insects. A lot of kids really have a fascination about insects. So you'll go around, search on the ground, and find insects, and you'll take pictures of these. So the child will take one picture, and you'll take some of the other pictures. When you get home from the walk, you'll go through the pictures, and it's a conversation starter. So you can explain why you picked this ant, for example. You'll talk about the ant, what's on its body, and then the kid will sift through their pictures and tell you why he chose these insects on his side. So it's a great way to get your child talking more in sentences about something that they really enjoy.
And I love it because you can look at it from lots of different ways. So regardless of what your child's skill ability is, it's something that you can scale up. We even did something the other day, my son and I, where we took pictures of plants, and then afterwards went on Google and tried to identify which plants they were and had an argument about, well, I think it's this and I think it's that. So it's something that you can do even as a child gets older and gains more skills. I just think you're really smart, Catherine.
Thank you.
I do. And so tell folks where they can get the book.
Yeah, so you can get your copy of the Autism Activities Handbook if you go to Amazon.com. You can find a Kindle ebook version of the book, or a print book is coming as well in the next few days. So if you type Autism Activities Handbook in the search bar, that ebook will pop right up.
Wonderful. Catherine, can we ask you to stick around and we'll do one more segment and talk about the autism show?
For sure.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break and then we're going to come back with Catherine. We're going to talk more about the autism show because this is a resource that you all need to know about. Stick with us.
What is autism? What is autism?
What is autism?
What is autism?
What is autism?
What is autism?
I've been asking myself that for a very, very long time.
Let me think about that one.
Trying to, just,
Jeez. Let me think. Oh man, that's a rough one. Yes.
Autism,
Autism is a neurological disorder that affects many of our kids in different ways.
It's a learning disability that affects the cognitive functions of the brain.
A lot of people have the misconception that it's a disability, and it's really not.
I look at it as like a special gift.
When one person thinks differently from another.
It's an opportunity for everyone to learn to understand someone that's a little different than them.
autism is the ability to educate.
They're given so much talent in different areas.
To me, autism means a chance to be with and be around people you really care about. Autism is beautiful.
It's a way of seeing the world differently.
It's always unique, totally intelligent, and sometimes mysterious.
Happiness that comes out of my son's hard work.
It's a movement.
Unpredictable.
That's right.
Awesome.
Love.
The field I want to work in.
Laughter, fun, joy. Autism is beautiful to me.
I want you to remember these three words. There is hope.
Welcome back to Autism Live. Our guest via Skype right now is Catherine Paskowitz. As we said, she is the author of a new book called the Autism Activities Handbook. I personally am endorsing this book. If you buy the book, you will see my comments on, like, you open it up and it's like page 2. There are a bunch of people who have rave things to say about it because it's that good. Great book. I really encourage you to have it over the summer because it gives you ideas of things to do with your kiddo. They're easy, they're simple, any of us can do them. It's a wonderful book. But Catherine is also the host of the Autism Show. So I wanted her to stick around and talk a little bit about the Autism Show. For those of you who don't know about it, it's a great resource. So Catherine, tell us a little bit about the Autism Show.
Yeah, so the Autism Show is an online radio show. So it's a podcast, and it works. How it works is that we have almost 80 episodes out now, and you can all find them on our website. And each week we have a new episode. So every Tuesday we have a new episode with a new guest. We have autism experts, change makers, we have parents, we have people on the autism spectrum themselves come and talk to us for 20 minutes on the show.
And it's really wonderful. You've got a wide array of people. People can go and listen to old shows, and they're there as a great resource. It's wonderful. I got to be a guest on your show a couple of months ago. You're a great interviewer, and I think you also you're the executive producer as well. Am I right?
That's right. I produce and host the show.
And I think you do a great job of, you've got such a wide range of people. Everybody can gain something from listening to your podcast. It's wonderful. And it's free, correct?
It's all free, yeah.
So where can they go to listen to it and to find out more information?
Yeah, to find out more information about the show, you can head on over to autismshow.org, and we have all the episodes listed there. Or you can subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher Radio or any of your favorite podcast directories, and you'll get a link to the show whenever a new show comes out.
Wonderful. Catherine, we just think that you're remarkable and you're doing remarkable things. We want to remind people again, the name of the new book is The Autism Activities Handbook. Wonderful, wonderful book with a fabulous foreword by Kara Kaczynski, a regular on our show. So I personally endorse this book. It's a great, great resource. And the Autism Show is fabulous too. We thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you so much, Shannon. It's been great.
Keep on doing what you're doing. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful, wonderful young woman doing really wonderful things. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back for our Mindful Thursday tip. You're going to love it. Stick with us.
Hi everyone, welcome back. It's April, which means it's also spring. And what we're going to be doing today is making our very own chia pets. What's cool about this project, it's an activity that you can revisit with your family as you watch it grow and change. All right, now that I piqued your interest, let's get to it. The materials we'll be needing are water, dirt, arts and craft materials, chia seeds, a container, and nylon. So let's get started. It's super easy. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take an old pair of nylons that you have, you're gonna cut off the toe, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some of your chia seeds and sprinkle them at the very bottom. We don't need too much, just a little bit. And then once I've got my chia seeds there, I'm gonna take my dirt and pour that in. And we wanna make sure that we've got quite a bit in there. You want to keep this tail. What this does is acts as a way to soak up the water to feed your little chia plant. So I'm going to take the bottom now. I'm going to tie this into a knot. So now that I've got this little guy, now it's time to decorate him. And you can decorate him however you feel like. What I did is that I made some little features out of felt that I'm going to add to my little guy to give him a face. Now that I've got them all decorated, I'm going to pour some water into my container and make sure my tail is all nice and soaked up in there. And here's my little buddy. I made a mouse, but you can always make whatever kind of creature your child finds super reinforcing. Make sure they like the little animal that you make so they'll want to come back and revisit him. As you can see right now, he's a little bald, but hopefully, keeping your fingers crossed, in a week he'll have some hair. With the snap of my fingers, we're going to go through a week in a few seconds. And oh my gosh, this little guy has changed quite a bit. Can you see how? Yeah, he's got some hair now. You can have your kids describe how this little guy looks to their friends, and you can even work on body parts by having them label all the features that this little guy has on his face. So let's see, what does he have? He's got eyes, a nose, a mouth, and ears. What do you think will happen to him if I stop watering him? Yeah, he probably won't be growing any more hair if I did that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this activity. I know I did. Tune in next time, okay? And until then, craft on. Bye, guys.
Can you see me? Can you see me flying by your side?
Welcome back to Autism Live. Every Thursday, we're trying to take a moment to do Mindful Thursdays. I will say that, we love people on big shows that have big audiences, and we noticed that after, I don't think that they're copying us, but we did Mindful Thursdays, and now all of a sudden there's a big network show that's doing Mindful Mondays. I'm just saying. We were there first. But in any case, we do Mindful Thursdays because we know that for all of us, stress is an issue. It just is for everyone on the planet, right? But especially for individuals in our autism community, whether they're parents or people who are working with individuals on the autism spectrum, but certainly individuals who are on the autism spectrum themselves are going to be dealing with more stress than, let's say, the average person. So, it's important that we don't at all try to stray away from that and go, oh, stress, it's not a thing. It is. It is, and it is for all of us. And we need to learn to manage it and to manage our states so that we are healthier and can be around longer and have a more happy, productive life. So we know that mindfulness can help us to do that, but mindfulness can be a slippery little thing, right? I think a lot of us have preconceived notions. I certainly thought that mindfulness meant you're sitting in a lotus position for hours on end and thinking about white space. And I took a course in mindfulness as a parent on the autism spectrum, and it helped me with my stress. And it wasn't about sitting in a lotus position and picturing white noise. So I'm hoping that every week we can share just a little bit so that we can all take a moment and pick and choose what you like. If there's one tip that you're like, yeah, that didn't help me reduce stress, then that's not the one for you. But we're trying to give you many things to choose from. So today we're talking about power posing, and or pretending that you're a superhero, whichever way you choose to look at it. But there was a study that was done recently by Carney, Cuddy, and Yap, and you can find it on PubMed, about power posing. Brief nonverbal displays affect neuroendocrine levels and risk tolerance. Okay, one of the things that they were looking at is that in the animal kingdom, that there are animals that will puff themselves up in order to display, a show of strength to deter other animals so that they're not eaten, right? And they were looking at whether with humans, if there was something to be said about that, if there was something, if there was a way to puff ourselves up to help so they looked at 3 different poses. My favorite one is the Superman pose, where you stand with your hands on your hips and your feet are apart, and you puff your chest up a little bit and you stick your chin out. And if you stand this way for 2 minutes, what they discovered is that you will perform better on things that potentially cause stress. So if you're about to go into a meeting, if you're about to do an IEP or something like that, where you know that you're going to be squaring off against other people and that there's going to be some power involved and it has the potential to make you stressed and you're afraid that you're going to underperform, 2 minutes, and we've all got 2 minutes, right, to stand in this pose, and that you will actually perform better. You may have seen this. A lot of people were talking about it after it was seen on Grey's Anatomy, that there was a brain surgeon character on Grey's Anatomy that had to do a brain surgery that was going to be really trying. And so she stood in the pose, and her intern or resident came in and said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm doing my Superman pose." And so the 2 of them stood there together to do it together, and then everybody started. But it's actually a study, and it shows that it does make a difference. Now, so there's that pose. Then there's sort of the Y pose where you're flying. I know it gets off camera, but you put your hands up and you're doing that pose. But there's another pose that they call it the CEO pose, where you sit back in your chair, put your feet up on the corner of your desk, and you put your hands behind your head as if you're relaxing and leaning back, and that is also a power pose. And that just doing that for 2 minutes, actually, it affects your performance, but it actually affects your neuroendocrine levels, and it helps you to perform better. So I offer that to you if you're having a moment. The other thing that happens, I will say this, that if you stop for a minute to do, I was doing the Superman pose in the elevator on the way up this morning, because sometimes I do that. It's not 2 minutes. It only takes me 35 seconds to come up in the elevator. But, and I think that there's, on the closed circuit, that you're being watched in the elevator. I can only do it when I'm in the elevator by myself. I don't do it when other people are in the elevator, but I think the guys and the do security in the building probably think I'm a little nutty. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. But to stand for just a couple of minutes, the other thing that it does, all of the poses, by virtue of where your arms are, open up your chest, which means it's easier for you to take a deep breath. And we've talked endlessly about, in the mindfulness moments, about the power of breath and taking a full inhale and a full exhale. And if you take, it doesn't even have to be 2 minutes to change the equation. If you take 3 full breaths, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, everything is better. Everything is more possible. we are calmer and more centered. If you imagine how many breaths it takes in 2 minutes to stand this way. So even if you don't have the ability to get in the pose because you're in an elevator full of people, or you're standing outside the meeting and you go, oh no, I forgot to do it in the parking garage. You know, or you don't want to do it in your kid's school parking lot before you go into the IEP, although I think it's a great thing to do. People go, what are you doing? Throw them off. At least take the breaths. But I think, you know, like Madonna says, strike a pose. Strike a pose. And those are the 3 poses they studied, but maybe there's one that's better that they didn't come up with that's better for you. But think about something that opens up the chest and makes you feel powerful. It's funny, we just did this and I feel better than I did a couple of minutes ago, and I didn't hold the pose for 3 minutes. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, hold a pose. And the study actually says that even 1 minute makes a difference. So there you have it. All right, we've talked about the power posing. It's a way to be mindful. And look up the PubMed story if you want to. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, remind you of a couple of things. No, we don't have time to do that. We're going to take a break and go to the A word. And then when we come back, I believe we're going to be here with the Miracle Project folks talking about some of the projects that they have going on. And we will reference some of the things coming up this weekend. Stick with us.
This is Jack's morning routine. He just got out of bed. He's a happy guy. He's sitting with Dad, drinking some milk, watching some tunes. Hi, Jack. Good morning.
How old are you, Jack?
2.
How old are you, Jack? Can you say good morning? Good morning. Good morning. Good. That's good. That's good. Sometimes he arranges the coins lately. He's been used to just put them straight in the piggy bank, and now he likes to play with them and arrange them. Nice.
Say more. Oh, good. That was a good M. Nice building. Good. More. Here you go. Yeah, we definitely want his scores to increase with him talking more. Because he knows everything and he knows what everything is, but just getting him to independently ask for things. Because we want to get him to man for things. At least
What are you
20
saying?
minutes
What's the word you're using?
Manned.
Manned?
Manned.
As in?
As in like requesting. So he can say like the object, like he can say train, or he can say more, or he can say all done, anything to communicate with you. Because he has a language, but I don't think we give him enough opportunities to ask for things or
That makes
request for
sense.
things.
That makes sense. We just have to require it more.
Yeah, and then after that we'll move into more frames such as like I want train, I want this.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I have Dad hold the train, and then have Daddy.
Daddy's
Look,
here.
Daddy has the train. So Mike, have him ask you for the tracks. You can even just hold it out in front of him, and then he'll even ask you.
More?
Okay. So here we go. Yeah, good talking. Very good. I've never seen him play train so intricately before.
He's been pretty much daily. He's asked for his train once.
Can you say give me? Okay.
Good talking.
There
Good
you
talking,
go.
buddy. Good asking. Good asking.
Yeah, definitely his 2 syllables are just coming along really well.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are approximations, but they're the same every time. He's a little sedate today, actually. I'm surprised. Excuse me. He gets concerned when I sneeze and cough. Daddy, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. See that? See that? Cheryl taught him that. Can you say I love you? That's I love you. Same every time.
kind of like yellow, but
Yeah.
yellow doesn't melt us like that.
Hi, we're gonna be working on some pictures. Let me get your picture cards. What is it? Hands. Very good. Here you go. Here you go. He's doing a lot of imitating things, and in clinic the other day, we noticed that every time we said "look at me," he'd repeat it, but in his own way, so it comes out as "baby." So every time we go "look at me," he's like "baby, baby." What is it? Hands. Hey, over here. Look at me. Look at me. No, over here. Look at me. Right here. There we go. That is a train. We'll play with it in just a second, okay? Hey, look at me. Now look at me. Right here. There are your eyes. What is it? Hands. Okay, you can go. Good job. Okay, go play. Do you want the book or the trains? Book or trains? Trains. Okay, good. Go play. Go play with your trains. Go ahead. You can go play now. Oh, you want to look at the pictures? More? More pictures? Here, you can look at the pictures. Here, want to show Suzanne what you know? How about let's look at the ones that you do know? Those are the ones that you don't know. Bunny. Wow, this one was a lot more than I thought. What's that one?
Oh, this one. Da 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 da.
Shop. You are so smart. Tiger. Tiger.
Nice.
Good job. Okay, what else? What's this one? Ellie. Oh, it's getting closer. Elephant. It's getting closer. Lion. Lion. You do know a lot of animals.
Between last week and today, Jack is able to label more cards. He's interested in identifying the images and consequently building his vocabulary. As the weeks progress in his ABA therapy, so has his skills. In 2 months, he's gone from babbling to enunciating certain words clearly. With prompting, he's able to practice appropriate speech when playing and requesting objects. Eventually, the prompting will fade and he will do it on his own. Each new skill acquired builds on the previous one.
You interested again? Here, why don't you go over there? Go over here and you can see better. What's that? Ooh, you want to move it for me? Show me your train.
Yeah, move it.
Welcome back to Autism Live. I'm giggly and happy because Coach E is here with us in the studio. You guys know her as Coach E or Elaine Hall. She is the brilliant mastermind behind the Miracle Project and the Miracle Project, the movie Autism the movie, and the Miracle Project Live, and so many other things. You're just amazing. And we love you. Let's just start there. So thrilled, and we've got a bunch of guests that we're going to be bringing in subsequent segments, but we wanted to start with just you because you have a new video that's out in honor of Autism Appreciation, and we were just talking during the break about how it's all the A words. It's autism awareness, autism action, autism appreciation. It's the big A word month.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what this Autism Appreciation project is about and how it came to be.
Thank you, Shannon. I always adore being on here, and I just love you. So this is so much fun. So much fun.
It's a love fest.
So, yes, we have a new video, and I'll tell you before we go right to that why we are making this video. Autism awareness. Autism Society of America started autism awareness over 25 years ago. And because of the Autism Society, the world is aware that there is autism because of what they've what they've done. They've made autism so that there's more intervention, more understanding, and it's really, really helped to put autism on the map. From there, Portia Iverson and John Shestak decided that they were going to use all their talents in order to make autism even more of a household word. And that happened about, oh gosh, maybe about 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And everyone now knows. There's big billboards about autism, as we know. And April is Autism Awareness Month. The United Nations began Autism Awareness Day, World Autism Awareness Day. And because of that, autism awareness has spread across the globe. Every country, in cities all over the world, they light up their landmarks blue. But what I want to ask, and then became autism acceptance. So we're aware, we're accepting that there's autism, we're accepting people who have autism. And this is April. And everyone's talking about autism, and I'm sure you've had all kinds of shows with people, speaking about autism, but we know as parents that autism doesn't stop in April.
Right.
So what happens on April 30th when the clock strikes midnight? And what happens? When the media has stopped running ads and talking about autism, what happens to that acceptance? So I got together with a couple moms and friends, and we were talking about how it's not enough just to be aware of autism. That was important and essential. And it isn't really enough about being accepted. I mean, I, for one, I'm not all that great, feel great about being accepted. Mm-hmm. It's just like the word inclusion. I don't want to be included, I want to belong.
Right.
And the same thing, I don't want to just be accepted, I want to be appreciated. Mm. So at 2 in the morning, I woke up and I thought of my dear friend and Miracle Project advisor, Jess Block-Nairn,
who we love.
Who we adore.
She's been on the show before, an amazing autism mom,
yes.
An amazing professional woman who does a lot in the field of PR.
Yes, Felton Media, she's really extraordinary, and she has the greatest smile on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So at 2 in the morning, I didn't call her, but I did email her and say, I've got this idea. This was probably a week and a half ago. I said, let's do a video of autism appreciation. And she called her first thing in the morning, and she's like, I'm in. So we joined forces to create this video, which is autism appreciation. What do we appreciate about our families with kids with autism? What do we appreciate about our kids? What do others appreciate? What are the talents, the abilities, the gifts, the messages that our friends with autism bring to us?
Yeah. And so a great video ensued. I will say that I was at the Mardi Gras for Autism, an event that I love, that we talk about here on the show a lot, and Jess came up to our booth and with her iPhone, and she said, Shannon, I need you to do a short video for me. And I said, I have not a stitch of makeup on. I adore you, Jess, but I have not a stitch of makeup on, because we were outdoors and it was an early morning, late night, early morning, and so the makeup thing did not happen. And she was like, oh, it's a video and it's for Coachy, and I can't tell you what, it's a surprise. And I went, okay. So I'm in this video, sans makeup. I think I'm wearing my sunglasses, thank heaven. So that I don't frighten anyone. There's enough violence on television.
I think you look fabulous.
Well, in any case, I was thrilled to be included. And so, in any case, Kelby's got the video. Shall we take a look at it?
Let's take a look.
And let's debut it here on the show. So this is Autism Appreciation.
This is Autism Appreciation. And it's also appreciating our spouses.
Yes.
It's appreciating the teachers and educators and everybody that is involved with autism.
Okay, so let's take a look. Here is the video.
Where is she? Oh, there you are.
Hold it. Okay, hold it up and push speak. And look in the camera.
Autism is inspiration.
Autism is sharing our creativity with diversity and independence.
Autism is purity of spirit and acceptance of all that is good in the world.
Autism is lovable.
Autism, I know autism is hard, but it makes me feel happy and I appreciate it.
Appreciate the creativity that autism inspires.
I appreciate the courage, the strength, and the originality. My son and my friends with autism are my greatest teachers.
I appreciate autism because they teach me to be stronger.
Everybody kind of opens us into arms and appreciates our talents.
And they give the best hugs, and they love being loved, and they love loving people.
I'm so grateful I have autism because it makes me feel special and creative, and it's great to be different.
And I just want to say, thank you for supporting me.
As we work hard towards making a fulfilling and productive life for those of us on the autism spectrum, the rule rather than the exception.
I appreciate love, work, and all the people who believe in me.
What I appreciate about autism is the goodness that I see in those who have it, and it makes me want to be a better person.
Autistic people help us all be better people.
I have learned so much about things I never would have learned about.
Without autism, I wouldn't have the son that I have. He is the sun, the moon, and the stars.
I love their wealth of knowledge of random trivia.
What I appreciate about autism is positivity.
I appreciate it and love every single one of them.
We appreciate autism because it gave us each other. Parents are awesome! We appreciate autism!
Welcome back. So a wonderful video. Gives you goosebumps. That's goosies, as J-Lo says. Fabulous video, and people can participate, and you want people to participate.
I want to see what you appreciate, what your audience appreciates, and you can join us on Facebook, Autism Appreciation.
So do you want them to write in, or do you want them to take a video of themselves, or sky is the limit?
Sky's the limit. I'd love you to write in. I'd love you to take video, take photos, everything. We want to make this page alive for the other 11 months.
Yeah.
Because you see, autism awareness and acceptance and appreciation, but it's the month of April. We want it all through the year.
Yeah.
So this campaign is going to go on until next year, Autism Awareness Month, April. And we invite you to join us. Also, there's a Huffington Post piece on autism appreciation. You can go to my Huffington Post, Elaine Hall, and comment on that page. That would be fantastic.
Wonderful.
Mainly autism appreciation on Facebook.
Love it.
Oh,
Love it.
What I didn't share was that Stephen Shore, Dr. Stephen Shore, he is who enlightened me about autism appreciation.
Okay.
So I really feel that this video is a gift to Stephen as a thank you for many, many, many years ago. I was saying autism awareness and autism acceptance, and he's like, what about appreciation? So this is a gift to him. And also you'll see on the video is Dr. Barry Prezant,
yes,
the author of Uniquely Human.
We have to have on the show.
You have to have him on the show.
Yeah, we do have to do that. And your son is on the video too.
Yes.
I saw you light up when you. Isn't that a wonderful thing? I think Kelby thinks I'm weird sometimes. We'll show a picture of my son and I go, oh, it's my baby. It's you know, we get that special light in our eye.
Yes.
And your son is doing so well. And you just had your final IEP, yes?
I just had my final IEP. Well, we just had our final IEP. Neil was there, and he signed his IEP, and he's turning 22 next Thursday, a week from today.
Wow. Big deal.
Big deal. It was bittersweet. I kind of saw all my IEPs flash before my eyes as I was signing it, and just realizing the struggles, the challenges, but more than anything, the love.
Yeah.
The love that so many people have given us over these years, and
That's
the support
awesome.
and the kindness, and the peaks when he was doing amazing, the valleys when he was being challenged, and just ultimately the support and the joy of growing up.
Wonderful. Well, I'm still, things are so good for us, but I'm just now in the place where we're having IEPs that are lovely, that I leave and go, oh, I don't feel the need to go drink an adult beverage. Right? But I think after the final IEP, that's a reason for an adult beverage. I hope you celebrated.
We need to do that.
Okay.
I think I had to go teach right afterwards.
So we need a celebration.
But this is for everyone, all of your audience to know. Another A, audience. Bring chocolate.
Bring chocolate
to every IEP.
Oh,
always bring chocolate. I am known as the bagel and chocolate lady.
Oh, see, I bring baked goods, but I don't necessarily. I did bring some chocolate this last time, but I don't necessarily bring chocolate.
Endorphins.
There you
Endorphins.
go.
And one time I'll come on and I'll tell you things I've learned about IEPs.
Oh, we should do that, because I'm all about talking about the IEP.
But right now you've got the teaser, chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay. All right. I love that. Okay. So again, where can people go to participate in the Autism Appreciation? Are we calling the Autism Appreciation Project?
I love that. Autism
Okay.
Appreciation Project. Go to Autism Appreciation on Facebook and download your videos, your photos, or stories. We say 2468. How do you appreciate?
Love it. Love it. So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to bring in a mom and her son who participate in the Miracle Project and talk about some of the different things that are happening at the Miracle Project. We've already talked a little bit today about the fact that you guys have a big gig tomorrow night.
Yes.
That we're very excited about. But we'll talk about all of that when we come back. More Coach E and the Miracle Project after these messages.
What would you do if your child was hurting?
If your family's future was uncertain.
If help seemed out of reach.
Have you been given no hope?
Taka means I am not alone in this.
This is the reality for families affected by autism. And today, the number of children with autism is growing more rapidly than ever. Taka unites these families and ensures that they do not have to fight this battle alone.
Our oldest son, Jared, who has autism, when we first took him to the doctor to get the diagnosis, it's so sad because they offer you nothing. There's no help, there's no hope.
One of the things that you learn with autism is being very grateful for even the small milestones. When you first get the diagnosis, you go through all the range of emotions. This can't be happening. Why is this happening? You have to get to a point where it's the emotion that has to be leading is, what can I do? The first thing that struck me was walking to a room and seeing, oh my gosh, we're not alone. And there is this very strong community that's already set. And something I still today associate with Taka the most is hope. To me, that's what Taka means. Taka means hope.
It's like you've got all these dreams and goals of what your son's going to do, and you get your diagnosis and you're sent home. And that's it. There's no plan of action. There's no, here's autism, here's what we're going to do to make your life better and help him. It's strictly go home and try to process it and go on the internet. It was devastating, and you just, you go through this 3-week of depression, and then you snap out of it. You have to. And then you start making phone calls and trying to figure out what is autism and what are we going to do. And then we found Taka, and it was life-changing.
Autism, there really is no definitive answer. It is trying to find the resources that are out there that can assist you to help your child so that, you just don't feel so helpless at those particular moments.
There was direction, and there was hope, and there was a little ray of sunshine that he's going to be okay, and we're going to be okay. I always look back and think we would never be where we are. Carson wouldn't be where he is at without Taka.
So 13 years ago, my son was diagnosed with autism, and that put our whole family into a tailspin. There were so many different ideas and things that were not proven. Nobody knew what guidance to give us. We had no direction. And then we found TACA. They helped give us a path to follow, help give our son a better future and make him healthy and put him back onto the road of recovery. When your son's first diagnosed, the first thing you hope for is, gosh, I just want my son to speak. I just want to be able to communicate with him in some way. Then you want a little more. You want him to go to a regular school. Then you want him to potentially have a real life and go to college. So you're always hoping for the future of your child. My son is a happy, healthy, vibrant young boy that's going to turn 15 really soon. And we couldn't be more pleased, and without TACA, I don't think we'd be in the place that we are today. We believe the future is not defined for many affected by autism. There is hope and direction for these kids and their families. TACA is dedicated to providing community, support, education, and hope to families affected by autism.
At TACA?
At TACA.
At TACA.
We are families with autism helping.
Helping.
Helping families. Helping families with autism.
Hi, my name is Matt. I am 19 years old, and I was diagnosed with autism when I was 6 years old. Autism is one of the fastest growing developmental disabilities in the United States, but I am living proof that with the right treatment, hope is possible. My future is not limited. Today, I am attending Fullerton Community College, and I run for the cross-country team for fun with my friends. It makes me feel proud when I think about my progress. Chances are you know someone affected by autism. Show them they are not alone, and help others get on the road to recovery. Contribute to Talk About Curing Autism today.
Welcome back to Autism Live. We're very excited because we got a full house right now. So as we had before the break, we had Coach E. Elaine Hall from the Miracle Project. She's staying here with us. We also have Rachel and Kobe Bird that are with us. And Rachel, I understand you did the film work on the Autism Appreciation video.
I did.
So wonderful job.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And Kobe is with us, and we're thrilled. We were just talking to Kobe about the fact that you're 13 years old and that you're a part of the Miracle Project. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. How long have you been with the Miracle Project?
Since I was, how was I the first time?
Well, he was 5 the very first time he got on stage as kind of a guest appearance, which was really neat. And then about 3 years ago, he started performing.
So tell us about when this young man came to be at the Miracle Project, first time you saw him.
Well, Shannon, this is an incredible story that I did not even realize that Kobe and I first met when you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
So, and Rachel, can you tell the story and then how I discovered that?
Sure. So back 10 plus years ago, when Autism the Musical was out, we saw it, and Kobe was newly diagnosed, so to see it, to see there were other parents, other kids, Kobe even saw and said, they're just like me. I said, they are. And at the time, I said, so what do you think autism is? He says, it means they're allergic to dairy and wheat like me. So that was really cute. So we went to an event, a TACA event, and they had, Coach E happened to be there. And I said, oh my gosh, it's Coach E. And I said, Kobe, do you see her? Do you remember who she is? And he says, yes. And so we walked up, and Coach E being herself, talked to Kobe, not to me, which was perfect. Because everybody would always talk to me, but she made sure that he was important. And she asked him what song he liked to sing. If he liked to sing, he said yes. And what songs he liked to sing, and he said, Hey Jude. And at the time, Kobe had very little language, very minimal language, and he said, Hey Jude. And she said, would you like to get up and sing with us on stage? And we're going to be up there in a little while. And Kobe just kind of said, okay. And I thought, well, we'll see what happens. So he actually got up on stage and sang Hey Jude. got the microphone, lots of tears,
Wow.
and he got up and sang. And then a couple years ago, he was performing with the Miracle Project at the Help Group. And the day before the performance, I'd found the picture of him all those years ago. And she had given him a T-shirt. It was the green T-shirt, and for getting up and performing.
Right.
And it happened to be, I think he fit into it until about a year and a half ago. So he's worn it all these years. And I always said this was the time he got on stage with the Autism the Musical people, and it was really neat. And so I posted on Facebook a little thing about the picture of Kobe then and what he was going to do. And Elaine said, wait a second. Wait. She's in tears. And she says, I remember. He got up and sang. I don't even think I said anything about him saying Hey Jude, singing Hey Jude. And she said he sang Hey Jude. And I showed her the picture. And she said, I mean, this is full circle.
Yeah.
And now he's, part of Miracle Project Live and doing an intimidation game. And he loves it.
Amazing. So do you remember that, Kobe? Do you remember, because you were young, and do you remember what it was like to have the microphone for the first time?
It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. It was fun. I didn't really know all the words, so I just sang like whatever I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun and something that you wanted to do again.
Yeah.
And now you're a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearly he was a performer then. Did you recognize that there was star quality when he got up and sang that time? You see that in so many people. I think you have a special gift to be able to see that and see where the talent is. But obviously you remembered it, so there must have been something about this little guy that then sprouted into a tall guy that impressed you.
I think, what our work is all about is finding that thing, whether it's music or acting or with my son, gardening. But what is that thing that gets us excited? What is it? Where's our joy? Mm-hmm. And so I do, and thank you, I do pride myself in being able to tune in to knowing and sensing where that joy is. And I saw Kobe's eyes light up when he started talking about singing.
Wow.
And
amazing.
so that was really, and you were so extraordinary. Just
Yeah.
you get a sense from people that everyone has something special.
Yes.
And I just got the sense that you could do it. And you did. You blew us away. You really blew us away.
Yeah.
As you do now. So Kobe started out in our classes at the Help Group, and he was in our beginning level classes, taking on more and more responsibility, learning parts, roles. You even did a character with a British accent.
Yeah.
So we invited him last summer to join our advanced group. We only invited a few people that are focused and disciplined. And remember the recording camp you did last summer?
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about that? Performing, recording in the studio? What was that like?
It was really cool. It was like I was actually like a singer. Like it was really it was cool. Like we sat down and like we were practicing and like we had our own green room. It was pretty cool.
I love hearing you talk about it in that way, because what a wonderful opportunity, and not everybody has that opportunity, but when we can give that opportunity to a young person and see them blossom, what a wonderful thing. What has this meant to you, having him involved with the Miracle Project?
You know, to see Kobe, our kids on the spectrum don't typically get to be a part of theater or groups or sports, and that as a parent, sometimes we I don't want to get emotional. Sometimes you mourn that loss in a different way. And so for Kobe, we've always said he can do anything he wants. We're going to help him. We'll find a way. So when he started singing, and he's loved to sing since he was really little, but to be able to see him get up on stage and be an individual and be himself and not be, the kid in the school play that's in the corner with the aide and they're kind of pushing him on the side because he might be stimming. To be able to put him, up and Coach E and all of her amazing Miracle Project people have always given each person a spotlight. And for Kobe, who's not a spotlight kid, but to be able to have that and to feel confident and be a part of a group and to have now friends from this group, where he's not a child who's really ever had friends. So to see him perform and succeed and have friends and feel like he's doing something important and good and something that makes him happy, it's more than you can even imagine.
It's a wonderful thing.
It really
and
is.
now you're a part of the performance that's happening tomorrow night, correct?
Yes.
We've been talking about that all this week at it's Autism Rocks LA at the Universal City Walk stage. It's a big stage with a big screen. I mean, this is a big, big opportunity. Are you excited?
Really excited.
And what do you guys, do you know, is it a secret? Are we allowed to talk about what they're going to be singing?
Yeah,
Okay.
and actually we're going to bring one of our other performers on, and they're
Okay.
going to maybe give you a little hint of some of the songs they're doing. Is that
All
cool?
right. That's very cool.
I was
So-
going to comment on what Rachel was saying.
Yes, go
is
ahead.
having supportive parents who really tune into their child's gifts and talents, and more than anything, their interests. And you and your husband have been so supportive of everything that we do. I mean, they're always on time. They're always there, always helping. Rachel did the video. She's also our social media expert, and just always just so wonderfully supportive. So I really want to give you.
Thank you.
Tremendous appreciation.
Thank you.
Back to
Thank
our
you.
video
Thank you.
of Autism Appreciation.
Yes.
So.
And I want to say, because I know that there are people who are probably watching and going, wow, look at this amazing young man, and wow, look at this amazing opportunity. I don't have it where I live, right? A couple of things that I want to say to those of you who are feeling, because we can all get into that pity part about, well, I don't have the Miracle Project in my town. But the truth of the matter is you could.
Yeah.
Right.
The truth of the matter is the Miracle Project goes to 2 different places in the country or in the world a year and trains people how to do the Miracle Project, and that's something that you could make happen.
Yes, that's true.
But you have to request it. You can't just expect that the Miracle Project is going to knock on your door and go, hi, I hear you might need something. But where would they go, Coach E, to start that process?
So they can go, they can email me, Elaine at themiracleproject.org. That's Elaine at themiracleproject.org if you're interested, and I'll set up a phone consult and we'll discuss how to do that. Next fall in September, we're going to be doing a certification program through Brown University.
Okay.
So there are people who could begin the process of getting certified, and we'll be at the Autism Society conference, the big conference in New Orleans this year.
We'll be there
Oh,
too.
fantastic!
Yes,
we're
see
going to
you
have
there.
some fun.
Even Jem is going.
Oh,
My son is
fantastic.
going to go.
Oh,
Yeah, so we'll
fantastic.
see you there.
Wonderful. And then Autism Speaks has presented us with certain grants. And so we can also speak about how to get grants through Autism Speaks within your own community.
Okay, but it's the kind of thing where you have to be this kind of a mom if you want it in your area, where you have to say, that's what I want for my kid, and you're going to have to be proactive. There are steps that you have to take, and there's a little bit of fundraising that has to happen in order for it, but it's all doable. Other people have done it. You can do it, and it's worthwhile. It's so worthwhile. Obviously, you can see how worthwhile the work is. So we should take a break, and then we're going to bring in another actor.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening on the stage on Friday night and this project,
May.
The Intimidation Game.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So stick with us. More with the Miracle Project after these messages.
You say howdy, we say hi. Let's get rowdy, let's get wild. Let's get wild. Let's get wild. Let's get wild. Let's get wild.
Welcome back to Autism Live. I'm Lisa Ackerman with Taka. My guest here.
I am Jennifer Lucero with Taka.
Taka Mom is here in the house. Jeff saw on a TV commercial they were making calzones, and he looked at me and goes, "Mom, please make me that." Wait a minute, calzone, you can't have calzone. He goes, "Well, you make me pizza. Why don't we call it a pizzone?" So we're going to do this ode to Jeff, pizzone. So I'm going to have Jen come on in.
All right.
You're in charge.
Ready.
We're going to add a little grapeseed oil, garlic, cut up chicken, finely cut up onion, and we're going to throw a little bit of basil. So we're going to just take about 5 minutes or so, saute up the chicken and all of the onions together. While Jen is slaving away at the stove, I'm going to make the pizza crust. A lot of gluten-free choices that you have out there for pizza crust. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the dry. Again, I'm using eggs. There are a lot of egg replacers on the Taka website. We have about a dozen different ways to replace eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and add my shortening. Calls for a little extra salt, which I'm going to put in here. And also add a little pepper. And we also have herbs de Provence that gives the crust a nice Italian flavor. Can't forget. The apple cider vinegar, organic stuff, ready to go. Yes, I have all my ingredients. We're ready to rock with this mixer. And don't be afraid of dough. Dough doesn't bite. So here's what we'll be working with to make the puzzone. I'm ready to go. Let's get this party started. So what we're going to do next is roll out the dough. I like to be rolling in the dough, but we're going to roll out the dough instead. So let's go ahead and get started here with that. So again, you see me using the parchment paper all the time. Love this stuff. It's basically unbleached, ready to go. It's just going to make life a lot easier on your rolling pin. You don't need to coat it or anything, which is a lot easier. But I swear I should buy that by the gross ton. So the puzzones, this basically makes 2 big puzzones. I'm going to take half of the dough and roll it out. Half of the other dough will be for the other puzzone that we're going to make in just a little bit. So you want to do, you're not making a pie crust, you're kind of making a long oval shape. So we're going to try to make a shape where I'm going to basically roll this over with all the yummy fillings. And so any combination or variation thereof. This sauce, just real simple, is organic crushed tomatoes. I've added a little bit of salt and pepper and herbs de Provence in that as well, which I love. I like extra fresh basil. That's always yummy to have on your puzzone. And thank you, this turned out fantastic. So we're just basically building it the way that we want to eat it. Of course, my favorite rice-free, organic, dairy-free, soy-free cheese. It's going to pop off the sides.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of popping out the sides. So that's the beauty of the parchment paper. Once you're done, you just flip it over and peel it back. So I'm just taking a fork now and going around the edges. It looks so pretty.
It looks really nice.
So for 400 degrees, we're going to go for about 25 minutes. You want it golden brown. And because we cooked everything pretty much already, you're not worried about not having everything fully cooked. So look how cute those look.
Looks great.
Like those 4 happy people right there. This weighs a ton. So let's go to the magic oven. Pull out our finished product. And voila!
Good.
Oh my gosh,
looks
this
beautiful.
is so yummy. There's nothing better than a little Jeff Ackerman puzzone. And this is going to be nuclear hot, but we'll go ahead and cut it open so you can. Oh my gosh, this is going to taste so good later on for your kids.
Yum.
Feedback, keep it coming. Thank you for helping, Jen.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us. Come back to Autism Live. We'll keep doing allergy-friendly cooking classes. If you have any suggestions or things that you would like to see us make, bring it on. You can reach us at autismlive@gmail.com or Facebook.
Love the Facebook.
I know, too much for me. Facebook, so facebook.com/autismlive, or thousands of taco recipes ready to go. Basically go to Taco Now, TACANOW.org, and we'll see you next time.
You say howdy, we say hi. Let's get rowdy, let's get wild, let's get.
Welcome back to Autism Live. We are continuing to talk about the Miracle Project with Coach E. Elaine Hall. And we have Kobe Bird is staying with us for this segment. And we have somebody new. Max Peters is here with us.
Hello, hello.
You are a ball of energy. We're thrilled to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
And we understand that you're a professional actor and a director, and you've been working with the Miracle Project for a little while now. And I'm excited to hear about some of the things you guys are doing. You're working on a project right now called The Intimidation Game.
Yes, we are.
Tell me.
So it's this really nice show, original musical about how in life, whether you're on the spectrum or not, everyone encounters bullying in some way, shape, or form in their lives. And it's how to kind of deal with that and realize that we're all in this together in the long run.
Which is a wonderful thing. And what people may not realize about the Miracle Project is that you have the Miracle Project actors on stage, and that encompasses a wide variety of people. That there are individuals who are on the autism spectrum, but you have other people on stage as well.
Yes.
And I think for people who haven't seen a Miracle Project performance, they may not get how powerful that is, but it's life-changing, Elaine. When you see it, it's life-changing. I've sat in the audience and seen people go, oh, okay, this isn't just I came because I was going to support, and I'm going to get my mind changed about some stuff today, right? It's a powerful, powerful thing. So both of you are in the Intimidation Project, is what I hear. Who do you play in the show, Kobe?
I play Sam. He's one of the bullies.
You play a bully?
Yeah.
What's it like to get inside of the head of somebody who's a bully?
It's really interesting. It's cool. It's like how you act. It's supposed to be like very like you're supposed to be like in character and you're supposed to be like actually really mean.
And is that hard to like? Do you feel bad sometimes when you're being mean to somebody on stage?
Well, at first it was a little bit. I kind of didn't want to be a bully anymore because it kind of made me feel really bad because I was bullied like a lot in middle school.
Mm-hmm. Did you find anything out about bullies by playing one that you didn't know before?
Not really. It was just really hard for me. But after a few weeks, I kind of got used to it, and I actually really liked being a bully.
Okay.
It was very fun.
Well, it's a powerful thing when you're playing somebody who's doing things that are not nice because the audience learns from it.
Well, Kobe's so sensitive, and may I share some of the things that you told me? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So as Kobe just said, you'd been bullied in school before, and so at first when we gave you those lines to sing, it was very challenging because you didn't want to hurt anybody because Kobe's so sensitive, and that's one of the things about individuals with autism. They're most and actors and creative people, the most sensitive human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
And so because of your sensitivity, it didn't feel good. So what we do is we show how often bullies have been bullied themselves.
Right.
And we take the concept of being bullied full cycle.
Yeah.
Where each bully then tells their story of how they came to be who they are today. And then ways of, instead of being mean or vicious to others, to love yourself.
Right.
And that is really the only way to stop bullying.
Wonderful.
Is to feel good about who you are.
Right. Well, that's powerful right there. And so your bully tells his story about how he became a bully in the show?
Yeah.
Okay, that's powerful. And Max, who do you play in the show?
I'm a bully as well.
Oh, I got two
I
bullies
got two
here.
bullies at the table.
We didn't have any good guys that were coming.
We'll bring them. We're going to bring some of the cast here, so
Okay,
we'll
all
bring
right,
them as we get
okay.
closer.
I think that's the interesting thing about the project is kind of what Coach E was talking about earlier. There's so much more than what's on the surface.
Yeah.
So the character that I play in the show is one who is very antagonistic and very mean to the new kid who's at the school. But then as the show progresses, you do see kind of where all that came from.
Yes.
And why the character thinks that it was okay to be doing that. But there's always so much more than like what's at the surface.
It's
which is
very
what's so
powerful.
beautiful.
I remember people talking about bullying, and I was like, if my child's bullied, I'm going to go in there and... And then the first time that he had an experience bullying, with somebody bullying him, was in 3rd grade, and it was a kid that I adore, who I know has been through all kinds of things, and I couldn't work up the indignation that I had felt when it was hypothetical. And I thought about it afterwards and thought, what if I didn't know this young man? And I didn't know what he'd been through. I would still have that righteous indignation, but it would be not helpful. Not helpful. So anyway, I hear that there's a song that you guys could maybe sing for us from the Intimidation game.
Yeah.
Want to sing a little something? All right. See how we're going to do this. Count us in?
What?
I'll count us in. We'll just go through that little... Hey,
Yeah.
Okay, ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, you, get out of my way. You're gonna get knocked in your face today. There's only one way to rule this school. You gotta be tough if you wanna be cool. If Fear keeps us walking tall. We push kids around while they're walking in the halls. If you ain't with us, then you better watch out. We'll be coming for you when you hear us shout. We're the bullies, the bullies. Then we'll be coming for you when you hear us shout. We're the bullies, the bullies. We'll be coming for you when you hear us shout.
Wow. Can I tell you, like, I forgot to breathe for a couple of minutes, and I was like, I'm getting dizzy, I gotta breathe. That was amazing, you guys.
Thank you.
Just to be a cappella in the studio, like, sing, my goodness. Amazing, because I know when you do shows, you have music and you have all kinds of things, but that was amazing just on its own. Yay, fabulous.
Awesome.
And you guys are performing tomorrow night.
Yes.
At Universal City Walk, and it's well, you've been talking about this amazing event that we've been performing a couple other songs as well, and I just wanted to add to the idea of bullying, and we'll talk more about it when we bring more of the cast back. Is that a lot of what we've been trained, like stand up to a bully, be tell on them, whatever, is actually incorrect.
Yeah.
And in devising the intimidation game, we worked very closely with the UCLA Peers Program.
We love Dr. Lageson.
Dr. Lageson is incredible, and she was a consultant to this project. In that, what are the correct ways to not get bullied?
Yeah.
Dr. Lageson reminded us that her study was on students who were not being bullied. And what she found is rather than reacting to them or standing up to them, it's much better to say,
Whatever.
Shrug it off.
Yeah.
So the intimidation game also teaches people how not to get bullied. And we have a whole nother song called Whatever.
Oh, can we do that?
Can you do that, a little bit of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Bullies get the power from breaking you down. When you get all worked up, they can push you around. It's time to get your power back. I'll show you what to do. Here's how to stop the bullies from messing with you. All you gotta do is shrug.
Whatever.
Don't make a big deal. Yeah. Even though the words won't know how you feel. If you act like their words aren't getting to you, those bullies won't have a clue. Yeah.
This is powerful stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So when is the performance of the intimidation game?
The performance of the intimidation game is May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Okay.
And we're performing at the brand new, drumroll please, Wallace Annenberg Center for the Performing Arts.
Ooh, wonderful.
On
When
this
is that?
beautiful stage.
That's those dates, the
22nd, 23rd, and 24th. 22nd is almost sold out.
Okay.
There's still tickets for there's still a couple tickets for the 22nd, and still tickets for the 23rd and 24th of May. And we're on this beautiful stage, which I mentioned, with professional actors, with our semi-professional actors.
They're professional.
They are professional.
They are.
Yes.
With our professional actors. We have professional actors across the board.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, is it something that you're thinking about doing a film version of?
From your mouth to the universe's ears, I think we
schools
should.
need this.
Schools
and
need it.
I would love to say to you,
They
you
do.
need to go on tour.
Yes.
But even that's not enough. I think a film version, and since you've already done Autism the Musical, I think a film version that every school could have and watch, and that's what we need.
Okay.
But I want to make sure that I reserve a couple of tickets because I got to bring my kiddo to see this. This is important stuff.
It's important stuff.
Very important stuff. Okay, so but let's shift now to talking about tomorrow night at that Autism Rocks LA at the Universal City Walk. You guys are going to be singing and performing. I don't want I don't want you to give away anything you don't want to give away, but it's tomorrow, so people need to be there. What are you guys going to be doing? Why do they need to be there?
Well, do you know that James Durbin from American Idol is going to be there?
I do know that, and I do love me some James Durbin. You know, he's been a guest on our show a couple of times, and he's first of all, he's a wonderful human being, but
Kind and generous
man,
person.
is he a great performer.
Yeah.
He puts on a show.
Yeah.
And so he's one of many performers, including the Miracle Project.
Yeah.
But he's the headliner, so to speak.
And these, the Miracle Project Live, which Max and Kobe are part of, will be performing 3 songs, 2 from the Intimidation Game, and one called Superheroes, which will be following the Autism Appreciation video.
Okay, wonderful. So, and we should say that concert is entirely free.
Entirely free.
It's entirely
And they're
free.
lighting up the entire Universal City Walk blue.
It's going to be amazing.
There's going to be, I mean, it's really going to be amazing. And they are headliners as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited about it. I will be there at that as well. Really thrilled to see everything that happens. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to come and be with us. I want to thank you for the work that you're doing. All original work, we should say.
Music by Zachary Marsh. Zach
we
Marsh.
love. Yes.
Brilliant.
Okay, so make sure that you, where can they follow the Miracle Project so that they can know about things when they're coming up?
So follow us at themiracleproject.org is our website. Also, the Miracle Project Facebook. So follow us on Facebook, The Miracle Project. And Rachel, who you saw, Kobe's mom, she's our social media expert, and she'll be telling you all kinds of things that are happening. So, and give us your email, and we'll put you on our newsletter, and you'll always get to know what we're doing and what we're up to and what city we're going to be in.
All right. We've only got a couple of more minutes, and then the show is going to be over. But is there anything else that you like? Is there anything else that you're doing, Max, that you want to let them know from the Miracle Project, or something that you're working on outside the Miracle Project?
Oh, geez. Thank you for having us on today. I really do appreciate that. I think it's so important to note the amount of kind of inclusion that's going on within the Miracle Project. I think it's such a great thing to be able to share art with everyone. I think art is something that brings us all together. And you know, it's just been such a blessing to be able to work with talented artists like Kobe and Coach E on what I would qualify as the best project that I've worked on so far in my career.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Isn't that a nice compliment, Coach E?
We
Kobe, you took off your hat, and I see that you have this beautiful red hair that you have been hiding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until you took off the hat just then, that I was like, my goodness, you have some gorgeous hair. That's wonderful. Why are you hiding it under a hat?
I don't know. It's
You're a hat guy.
Well, actually earlier, my mom was into my hair, and I guess I just kept it on. My mom told me not to keep it on, and it kind of ruined like the back of the head. It made it all funky, so I had to wear my hat like the entire time.
It
cool
looks
look.
cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
The hat is happening, I have to say.
So maybe we need to bring him back on, and you can see the red hair.
I think you got to come back with the hair sometime.
He sings solo tomorrow night. He'll
Yes, he
sing some
does.
solos, and
Wow.
yeah, the superhero, and you'll hear his beautiful voice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear
Yeah.
that. Do you want to sing any of that right now? We can have like a
Would say
minute.
maybe make someone. Want to do that?
I guess I have to wait till Friday.
Okay.
Oh,
It's gonna
there's a
City Walk
It's
tomorrow.
going to be a surprise. It's going to be a good surprise.
Okay,
It's a good
I
song.
respect that. That's
Fantastic.
an artist.
I
That goes
love it.
beyond performer.
High
That's
five.
an artist.
Yes.
And self-determination.
Yes, and so yes, absolutely. Advocating for yourself. That's what it's all about,
It's all
right?
about.
Okay, so last thoughts, Coachy, about the performing and what this does for our kiddos.
So performing allows the world to witness what we get to experience every week, which is we're all alike, we all have talents, and we all want to be appreciated for who we are.
I will say that the first time that I got to go, I'd seen Autism the Musical and I'd heard so many things, but the first time that I got to go to a live performance, it was something different for me, but also for my husband and my son and the other people that we were sitting with. It It was just such an education. There are more and more people who are doing theater and doing theater with kiddos who are on the spectrum. It's important work. We've talked to Temple Grandin, Dr. Temple Grandin, about it before. And when she talks about what were the things that set her up for success as a child, that's the first thing that she talks about. Is that her mother participated in community theater, that she worked backstage, and then eventually she performed, and that it taught her about how she could stay who she was, but that she could behave in a way that fit in for a circumstance so that she could get what she wanted. And that is really what the whole crux of everything is when we're talking about autism. And we have people who say, well, let us be who we are, we want that, but that sometimes there might be something that prevents them from something, but to learn, we all put on a face at some point to do certain things, right? You know, otherwise I would be here in my bedroom slippers. Right? So, and I'm not. So what a wonderful, valuable lesson to give everyone. I think that theater should be taught. It's as important as math.
Well, I have to tell you, I know we have a short amount of time, but we will come back.
Yes.
The Miracle Project has been found evidence-based.
Oh, well.
So maybe we'll bring on the sociologist and the psychologist who studied the Miracle Project.
Absolutely.
And we are actually making an announcement that we are evidence-based in developing self-expression, self-esteem, and commonality among those with and without autism.
Wonderful. And as I started to say, you know, I think theater and performance and the performing arts and music and all those things are crucial to all of our kiddos, but especially for our kiddos on the autism spectrum. It helps educationally, socially, everything, communication, wonderful. And there are a lot of people who are doing it, and we love that, but there is nobody who's doing it like you are. So we thank you for all the work that you are doing. So make sure if you're in the area that you get to one or both of these events, tomorrow night at Universal City Walk, but then the Intimidation Game at the Annenberg.
The Wallace Annenberg Center for the Performing Arts in Beverly Hills.
That's a mouthful.
Woo! You can just call it the Wallace.
All right,
we are
at the
so proud to
Wallace.
be there.
Okay, fabulous. We've only got a minute, and so I'm not going to have you guys go. I'm just going to have you stick around while we remind everybody that we're back next Wednesday. Dr. Jordan Granpeche will be here answering your questions during our live show. We've got amazing guests for you next week. So all of that, plus we'll give you updates on all the events that we were at last week. And we will have the new episode of The Future is Bright airing next week as well with Stephanie Schaefer. That's the show that we do in conjunction with Autism Society of America. Don't forget, if you missed this morning's special edition of On the Spectrum with Matt Asner, that's the special show that we do monthly in conjunction with Autism Speaks. That was aired this morning, and it will be available the rest of today, and it is available now on YouTube. So all of those things coming up and available to you now. I hope that whatever you do, however you close out this April, autism awareness, autism appreciation, autism action, autism advocacy, all of the A words, right? However you finish out this month, that you finish it out with a bang, and that you keep whatever work you've been doing going throughout the rest of the year. But if you have the opportunity, share on Facebook how you appreciate autism. It's a wonderful thing. So I will be back here on Wednesday. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you as well. Bye-bye for now.